What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? What is going on? Figured we start the stream off with this. JOAO, we need a goal. On it, Gaffer. Got Chalaba and Tosin. We have a set piece to defend. I got you. Enzo, hermano, can you drop in? I got you. Robert Sanchez, sending something your way. See you, Rob. This is great. I appreciate it. Hey, big old JOAO Pedro had a great game today. Easily the man of the match. But ladies and gents, welcome to your match review for Chelsea 2, Fulham 0. And I think it's easy to say that Chelsea just don't make things easy, do they? Huh? Never a dull day at Chelsea, and there's a lot to talk about, right? So obviously, we'll talk more in depth about a few other things in tomorrow's Casually Chelsea show. But ladies and gents, before we go ahead into the match review for today's game, be sure to smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. Be sure to also subscribe to the channel if you're new here, if you just discovered the channel. Help us out. We're trying to get to 5K subscribers, so it'd be a great help if you guys could, subscribe and be part of the Casually Chelsea crew. Check out the links in the description below for everyone else's content, and also be sure to check out the memberships. There's 4 different tiers starting at 99p. Now, I will start this review by saying there's a bit of a caveat with me. I was out last night and I didn't roll home until maybe 4 in the morning, give or take. So I was severely sleep deprived when I watched the game. So I'll say this for my analysis today. Take it with a pinch of salt. It's very, very difficult to watch a game when you're fatigued mind and fatigued body. So with that being said, we'll see what I did watch the game. We'll see what I can scrap up in terms of a summary, but I will try to watch the game again just so I can, really analyze this properly. So just to give a quick summary of today's match, ladies and gents, the same exact lineup that we put out there against West Ham, and it was a weird game for Chelsea in terms of we controlled most of the possession. Fulham didn't look super dangerous against us. However, it took about maybe 15 minutes, and we created a chance with Delap, who also around the same time falls with an injury. So unfortunate for Delap. We lose Delap around, let me look at here, around the 15th minute, the 10th minute. Around 15 minutes, we lost Delap. Potential hamstring pull pretty much, and very likely that he's going to be out for about 2 months based on what the coach said. So Tariq George comes on, and unfortunately in a moment where Tariq George loses the ball, Fulham initiate a counterattack where Chalaba ends up getting stepped on by Muniz and falls to the ground. Then you have King. I believe the player is King for Fulham, youngster, gets a chance to go and score a goal, ends up beating Tosin, ends up failing to block it, and goes near post for Sanchez to, Sanchez was going the other way, thinking he's going far post. He goes near post, and unfortunately, it's a goal. However, upon VAR review, turns out that the goal was taken back due to a foul. So we will talk about that. Obviously, we'll obviously discuss whether it was fair or not. But yeah, so the goal doesn't count. The game continues on. Chelsea aren't looking like they're doing very well. Enzo's having an absolute stinker of a first half. I'll openly admit that. Enzo did not have a good first half. And I think that lack of Enzo performance did not help Chelsea connect with some passes in the final third. You saw a quiet game, or a quiet first half from Esteval, a quiet first half from Neto, just a quiet first half in general for a lot of the players on the pitch, because they weren't able to get the ball. It was not a good game from Enzo Fernandez at all. And as we are about to close out the first half, we get a corner that we almost score from, and then we end up getting once again another corner from there that ends up finding its way in the back of the net. And yeah, brilliant goal from JOAO Pedro, scores from the header. Enzo takes a set piece, and we are 1-0 up before the end of the first half. Now we go into the second half, no changes made. However, a little bit of restructure. We look a little better in the second half. It didn't take long. I think it was about maybe 10 minutes until not even 10 minutes. 10 minutes. It was about 10 minutes 5 minutes, sorry. Until Chalobah goes to take a cross from a pass he had received from Caicedo, I believe, and hits the Fulham players in the hand as he's jumping to block the shot. And as a result, VAR checks it, and it's considered a penalty, and rightfully so. So Enzo steps up with no Cole Palmer available, and no Delap on the pitch. Enzo steps up, takes the penalty right down the middle. No nonsense, just boot it down the middle, and Enzo gets on the score sheet, and Chelsea make it 2-0. Obviously, later in the game, we start to make substitution. Enzo comes off. You see Santos come on. You see James come up. We start to solidify a little bit more just to shore up the game, get the result. And bish, bash, bosh, the game ends 2-0. Chelsea get another 3 points at Stamford Bridge, and an impressive record at Stamford Bridge, actually, and just impressive run of form for Chelsea in general, as I'm about to share my screen just to show you guys what we're talking about here. But Chelsea's Premier League record at Stamford Bridge in 2025, so since the start of the year, only 3 draws and just wins from there. It's an impressive record, and only 7 goals conceded, 7 clean sheets since the start of the year at the Bridge, which is impressive to see. But yeah, Chris, let's start off with you, man. What are your thoughts on today's game?
He's made Stamford Bridge into a fortress again. That's nice to see. I didn't know that.
Unlike Pochettino, who spread his legs for every single fucking team.
I mean, you could say like a lot of managers under this new ownership, even Potter.
Even Potter had a decent defensive record.
He was good at like getting with like even draws and stuff, but like I don't know, he didn't really get a lot of goals.
Couldn't get, yeah, exactly. But go ahead, Chris. Let's talk about
Fulham
game.
Yeah, I would say it's a very sluggish. I would call this game a very sluggish performance. That first 45 minutes is probably the worst performance like I've seen from Chelsea this like in a while. I wouldn't say just this season. It was this season, but like in the Club World Cup and all that, it was a bad performance. Like Enzo, he was slow. He wasn't releasing the ball. It felt like he's winning his counter attacks at the time as well. And like you said, Delap, he got injured in the first 15 minutes. I thought it was gonna be one of those games like, oh, we lost Delap. We haven't really got anyone to back up for him, like another striker, like a Jackson or something like that, since we have no one up there. So felt like we'd have played Tariq George. Like I couldn't work out where he went, but like he went up strike, I think, or it was a 10 at times. But I thought Tariq George did okay to fill in for that. I didn't think he played badly. That
was position.
I thought he did what he could have done, like in that position. Yeah. But yeah,
put in a shift.
Yeah, I just thought like we got like a bad performance, but we got a good result because I always know like Fulham and Chelsea are always like close, like 2-1, 2-1, 2-0 maybe.
Yeah,
but like
last year was a big onus.
Yeah, I think we lost him 2-1 and we beat him 2-1 last season, I think. But yeah, like I thought like a lot of players felt off it in that first half, especially. And there's only a few players for me what stepped up. Like for me, for example, like Caicedo was my man of the match. He saved us from the defense area. Like they could have scored and he blocked it, and he did a few obviously tackles and here and there in the game. But like that goal we scored in the second one where we won a penalty, that goal doesn't happen without Caicedo. He won that ball. I don't know who he won it off, but like he won it off a certain player anyway, and then Chalobah crossed it in, and they handballed it. So that was thanks to Caicedo. I thought obviously JOAO Pedro, what he could have done, like he didn't really get exactly a lot of chances in here and there, but when he did have his chances, it's quite nice to see a striker score a header, and he's been doing that a few times, I think, as I remember, for Chelsea. So it's quite nice to see. But yeah, he just gets those goals where you don't expect him to score, and he does. Yeah, he was for me, like him and Caicedo as our two top players this game anyway. But I thought Gusto, I don't think you mentioned Gusto, but I thought surprisingly Gusto was our best defender today. I don't know if anyone really agrees with that, but I thought he's quite good. Chalobah was decent, I thought still. I didn't think Tosin was that great, but I don't think he's bad. I thought, they kept the clean sheets. No one really bad in that defense. Of course, and
I should have mentioned, it's a shame that we conceded in the last game because we would have 3 clean sheets in a row right now.
Wait, oh yeah, I mean that West Ham game, like I thought Sanchez should have done better, but yeah, we could have kept 3 clean sheets, and Sanchez could have been top of the list for the Golden Glove. Maybe I think is he going top 2? Maybe I don't know.
Sure.
Top 1 maybe with someone. I don't know if anyone's kept clean sheet for every game so far, but yeah. I thought what's his name? Sanchez did a good save as well. Like I think it's offside though, actually thinking about it.
I think it was an offside save, yeah.
Yeah, so we didn't really have much to do. So I don't think Fulham did much, to be honest. Like we're going to the fouls and stuff, but I don't think that Chalobah thing was a foul, and I will explain it as well. Why I don't think it's a foul, but even with the handball, I think there's a blatant handball anyway. You could say JOAO Pedro handballed it, but it's literally like 30 seconds between it or something like that, and 5 different players I think touched the ball. And Caicedo had to win the ball to get it back. So, like, I don't think that really warrants it, like, tracking it back to being a foul. But I thought Enzo was quite poor, but he did get the GA. So I thought he was, like, okay. And, like, I put in that middle, like, bad performance. Like, first half, he's atrocious. Like, he was awful. Like, he was slowing down our play. But I haven't got, like, too much to complain about because, like, we got the result. And that's all I really care about. Like, you got to play these bad games. We don't have Cole Palmer. We lost the lap in that game. We don't have Colwell still, and I think he's a very important player to Chelsea. And we're getting we are getting these results still. So I don't really have a lot to complain. I thought we played a good game, and we was the better team still. So it's not like we got like damn lucky and won this game. No, I think we deserved to win the game still, but whatever people say. But yeah, I haven't got very much complaints, to be honest.
I can't disagree with that. Scott, what are your thoughts on the game today?
Not a good performance, I think. Definitely, I think our worst performance of the 3 games we've had so far. But the important thing is we came out with the 3 points. We came out with the win, which like ultimately is the most important thing. I think you end up having games like this across the season that are, full of controversy, or you don't play well, but you might get a goal off a set piece, or you get a penalty or whatever, and like ultimately you have to kind of take those games as they come. I don't think there's much really you can take from them in terms of like building forward. Like in terms of tactically this worked well, or tactically that worked well, or whatever. But you just have to take the fact that you got the 3 points, despite not playing well, really, especially first half, and kind of go from there, and hope that this is like a one-off. What you don't want to happen is like it to become a trend. But I don't think it's 3 games into a season. You can't say that. So yeah, I think you kind of just take the 3 points as it comes. Try and find the few positives you can in terms of like Chris said, Gusto was really good this game. Like I'll currently find fault in his game today. Inverting as well. So it seems as there was a step up from him today, which is nice to see. Like considering how bad he was last season, hopefully he's getting back to what we know he can do. Don't really have any complaints about Sanchez today, which is nice to say once in a while. Defensively, I thought we were good as well, for the most part. Midfield, Caicedo today, amazing, as usual. Like it's kind of just not boring is the wrong word, but you just keep it's just common now. Like just saying Caicedo was amazing is just that's what Caicedo
expected.
Is. Yeah, like so that's what it is. Frontliner for JOAO Pedro again, very very good today. I think him in that 10 is working. That's a whole conversation to have for going forward with what else happened in this game, and what you do just going forward. For Esteval and Neto had some nice moments, but I didn't think they had too many things that they could do. But I don't fully blame them for that, just because the whole attack scene outside of JOAO Pedro seemed a little bit disjointed today. But I think that had to do with kind of one player, unfortunately. But yeah, like I said, like you just have to kind of take the positives where you can, the set pieces as well. That's obviously been an improvement, and kind of go from there.
Yeah, I mean, can't really disagree with much from there. I mean, that's pretty much a balanced way to look at the game. I want to start off by obviously talking about the goal that actually opened up the score sheet but didn't actually count, right? And it's one that it baffles me when I hear the announcers before the decision was made that, oh yeah, this is a tough one, it could go either way, yada yada. And then once the decision was made, the announcers all of a sudden, oh, it was harsh. Yeah, I feel like that shouldn't be disallowed. The poor kid's first goal for Fulham and stuff. Listen, at the end of the day,
oh yeah, he was a young kid, wasn't he? Like,
yeah, they were saying like, oh, give him his goal. It's so unfortunate, all this and that. And listen, I understand. Muniz doesn't do this intentionally. This is my take before I open it up to you guys. Muniz doesn't do it intentionally. That's very obvious. But at the end of the day, fouls aren't given based off of intention all the time, right? Like at the end of the day, a foul is a foul, and if the ref deems it a foul, then it's a foul. This is a foul. It's not intentional, but it's still a foul. Malo Gusto got sent off with a red for having a bit of a high foot.
His ankle.
It wasn't intentional, but he got sent off with a red against Matty Cash, or I think it was Matty Cash. I can't remember who. No, it was.
I think it was Matty Cash.
No, it was Matty. It wasn't Matty. Digne. It was against Digne.
Is it Digne?
Yeah, it was Digne. Or maybe Matty Cash. Either or.
Cash.
So, yeah, it was unintentional, but he got sent off straight red. Okay. But so intention doesn't fucking matter in this situation. It's a foul. It's unfortunate that it happened the way it did, but at the end of the day, it's a fucking foul. And the referee, in my opinion, did the right thing by calling it a foul. Now, it's harsh. I get it. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's a foul. And the player doesn't get his goal. I mean, do you guys disagree with that? Am I being unfair?
That's never a foul in a million years. That's unbelievable. Where else is he meant to put his foot? Like, where else is he meant to put his foot?
The problem is Marshall.
If he steps on him any little higher, if Chalba gets that's
we're doing ifs, Marshall. He has to step.
It's a foul.
No, it's not a foul. Muniz has done the right thing in terms of he's trying to shield the ball because the player's coming in, which he has to go for. It's a 50-50. He has nowhere else to put his foot. He does tread on Chalobah's foot, but like this is never a foul.
The problem is, it has to be. This is has to be intentional.
Oh yeah, actually, sorry. The issue which I think Ahmed's
it doesn't have to be intentional.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. Fouls do not need to be intentional. Let's not rewrite the rules.
Like even red cards are given not intentional.
Yeah.
No. The reason what I mean by that, what I mean, a foul has to be intentional. At least in this case, you have to look at it in this case. Is Muniz when he's making that turn? Yeah, is that the only way you can look, which is true. Yes, it is. Because if you look at it again in motion in real time, that's the only move you can make if you want to twirl around, right? Secondly, you also have to look at it from a Chalobah perspective. Chalobah is also charging in at this moment in time, right? Because he knows Muniz is about to turn and also get into that too, right? So the problem is Chalobah, where Chalobah puts his foot or where Muniz puts his foot also happens it essentially happens at the same time. It's literally at the same time as he's turning and Chalobah comes in. So there's no way for him. Yeah, there's no way for A, Muniz to put his leg, and B, for Chalobah to also put his leg, right? Because it's almost like a double jeopardy thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's never a
Yes.
foul. And the other issue is and the bigger issue for me with all of this. I have to speak about this again, and I've spoken about this. I actually haven't had to speak about this for a while because we haven't had to speak about this for a while. But I've said this on so many streams and so many videos. The purpose of VAR is for clear and obvious errors. This is not a clear and obvious error. This is never a clear and obvious error. You can't sit here and tell me this is definitively a foul. So if it's not definitively a foul and definitively an error, VAR should not get involved. This decision should never be overturned. That is what the stupidest thing about this is.
And that's based off of what you're saying, right? You're saying it's not a foul, so it's not an error. But the VAR looked at it and said, no, you missed a foul.
No, Marshall. The fact that we're having a debate about this shows it's not a clear and obvious error.
I think it's a clear foul. At the end of the day, I've seen multiple players get their foot stepped on, and it's called a foul. I know his intention wasn't to step on him, and I know he can't go anywhere else, but it's unlucky. That's football. Unfortunately, football just happens the way it happens sometimes, whether it's in your control or not, and it's a foul.
But
how long did it take the referee, by the way?
Before you go, Scott, yeah, I'm going to give you an example, right? What the Digne thing with Gusto, for example, right? Gusto, in that situation, right? He literally rushed in, right? And literally he planted
and studs up.
Right, studs up, right? In that case, right?
But he got the ball.
No.
But he got the ball. Remember?
No. Wait. There's a key reason why I'm bringing up the Gusto. Gusto still running. Yes, he may have got the ball.
I think that was a harsh red, but
it was a harsh red. I agree.
It was a ball,
and I took it.
It's not a hard red
because it was to me. His foot went over the ball.
No, it doesn't matter.
He got the ball, but the ball is ankle rolled over.
The point I'm trying to make is that Gusto had no control in that moment in time. Whether we like to be or not, right? He had no control in that moment in time. That's why it became a reckless challenge. In this case, Muniz is in full control. He knows in order for him to do what he has to do, he has to plant his foot there. Caliber has also Caliber also comes in at the same time too, right? So that's the problem. It happens. It almost happens at once.
What the hell is that image?
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's not the best image, but
I can't even see it.
But oh, okay, you gotta look at Gusto. I took it as a red still because he got the ball and then it rolled over.
Marshall, that cool. There you go. He's caught him, studs up. It doesn't matter that he got the ball. He followed through, caught him on the ankle. That's a dangerous challenge.
But hold on. Okay, thank you. You're saying exactly what I'm trying to say. So where else is his foot supposed to go, right? Because when he does that...
Marshall. No. He has dived in.
Yes, he has
to get the ball. You're allowed to dive in to get the ball, but on the follow through, which is a split second, right? We're slowing it down, so it seems a lot longer. It's a split second where they both go for a 50-50.
Okay, Marshall.
Gusto, hold on. Let me just lay my point. Gusto ends up winning the ball, but the follow through nearly breaks his ankle. The same thing with Muniz, what you guys are saying. What else is he supposed to do? Nothing. I know, but it's a harsh foul. It's harsh because there's nothing he could have done.
It's not a harsh foul, because number one, it's also not on the ankle, it's on the top of the foot. Number two, he's not. It's on the top of the foot. It's on the top of the foot. It's on the top of the foot. It's on the top of the foot.
Yeah, it's not like a leg break or nothing like that. It's not good. I don't think any.
Secondly, again,
it goes down his ankle.
Again, we're talking about. Let's go back. Gusto chose to dive in to challenge for a ball.
Yeah.
Muniz is in control. He's already won the exchange. He has to plant his foot. He can't hop on the fucking pitch.
I do. This is where I stand in it. If he didn't and this is where I don't think it's obviously I do agree with you. What you said, by the way, it's not a clear and obvious foul, so maybe the ref shouldn't have got involved, and that's where I do agree with you. But he stood on his ankle, so I don't think Chalobah can actually win the ball when he's standing on his ankle. But if he didn't, then Chalobah might actually compete and actually win it, or making
Chalobah's never winning that. He's going through the back of the
I think there's a high chance he doesn't win it. I do agree. I think there's a very high chance he doesn't win it, but I think it stops him winning it completely. If you stand on his ankle, but I do agree with you. Like, if it's not a clear foul or whatever, the referee shouldn't step in.
Yeah.
If
And
bars,
that's
said,
ultimately my biggest point. It took the ref 6 looks at this, I think it was.
was it
Yeah,
6?
5 or 6 looks. That's not clear enough.
Oh, he was struggling.
not
Yeah, he
clear
was
enough.
struggling. Yeah, I forgot
It took
about
him
that.
6 looks.
Because he's
at
probably
it.
thinking the same thing we're thinking. Should
No,
I give
then
this a
Marshall- then-
foul,
no,
even though
then-
it's not
then
intentional?
Marshall-
That's the only part I
Marshall,
agree with you. Like, it's not clear and
then
obvious.
that there means it's not a foul because it's not a foul. It shouldn't be overturned because it's not clear and obvious. You're not
Yes.
using VAR the way it was meant to be used.
That's
You're
another thing
using
too, isn't it?
VAR as a what was a word they used on the video I did earlier? As like a safety net. As like
Yes.
they're using that to ref the game for them instead of using VAR for what it's meant to. Which like it was the same for the one later, by the way, which I assume we'll talk about. The point of VAR is for clear and obvious errors to fix those errors. This is
That's
not a clear and obvious error because it took him 6 attempts to look at it to go, yeah, I think that might be a foul.
Can I
If
give an
it's
example of a clear and obvious
6
error? It's like
attempts.
both of us, all of us here would agree. A clear and obvious error, for example, is let's say the referee in front of him sees like a studs up tackle on the knee to thigh area, right? That could be a plain red card. If the referee doesn't see that, that is a clear and obvious error because clearly the player has just had a reckless tackle happen to him, and that should be a red card. A handball is a clear and obvious error, correct? A goalkeeper crashing into the player when he's 1v1 of them and not getting the ball is a clear and obvious error if the referee does not see it, right? Those are what we call clear and obvious error. The problem with this is that, but this does not get called, and the phaser player ends in the goal. That's the thing.
Yep.
And also, this is also an off-ball situation by the time it reaches him at that point in time. If
Wait,
you
what?
actually if you actually move, like, okay, I don't know if you go back. So he's about to release the ball. I watch. So he gets the
See,
ball,
like,
he turns, and then he releases. Right?
See, I don't know what
Sorry,
Chalobah's thinking
I
that
just
point.
have to
He's
point
going for the
something out
ball
as well.
straight away as well.
Yeah.
I just have to point something out as well. Hold on. This actually, you can't. It's really annoying. Go back to the previous comment.
What
Oh, wait,
comment?
what, this
You
one?
can, this one. If you can play this little clip of him of the ball coming into Muniz and tell me where he loses the ball.
He doesn't
He
lose
doesn't lose
the
the
ball.
ball.
No, he doesn't lose the ball. He's in full control of the ball. The
Yes.
ball is in his possession. Chalobah's dived in on him.
I don't know.
So
I
I'm
didn't
trying to
really feel
understand where
like,
this
well,
argument comes of, oh, he lost the ball. He's challenging on Chalobah. No, he's literally in control of the football. Like, he's the one in control of the football. Which goes back to my conversation of he's the one that's won the situation, that's won the 50-50. He has to plant his foot.
For me, I don't know
That's
if I
where it's
really
different to the Gusto one for me. Of like, Gusto is not in control of that football. He's dived in. Yes, he's won the ball. But because he's dived in, not in control of that challenge, he's followed through into the ankle, which is a dangerous challenge by the letter of the law.
Mhm.
All I'm gonna say,
By a red
listen.
card, yeah.
All I'm gonna say, at the end of the day, Fox, get out PGML for today. That's what I'm gonna say. I can admit that it's the wrong decision, but I can also say thank you, PGML.
I strongly
for the decision.
disagree.
That's all it is.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like
there's
decisions be
gonna
way
be
worse than they
something.
got rid of it
We
now.
all
though.
know. We all know. Sometime soon, this is gonna happen again. And it's
I
gonna
say get rid of it after
probably-
year one, but
and it's probably gonna be something that's gonna happen against us. And I'm gonna be ready to see.
this has
what
happened
happens.
multiple stuff like this.
Yeah,
has
it's
to us
happened to us
against-
multiple
where
times.
it's not clear and
And
obvious, and like the VR.
I'll be
shouldn't get
honest.
involved, but like this is why I don't feel like VR like are there for that now. Like let's do it regardless. Like
And
even if
listen,
it's not clear and obvious,
I'll be-
they're gonna do it.
I'll be so honest. If the shoe was on the other foot and this did happen to us and they said this is a foul, I wouldn't even argue it because I would just say, you know what? Unlucky.
I would.
It's harsh. But yeah, it is a foul.
I'd be
technically.
annoyed, but like I would accept it still. And
So,
I say
like-
like you gotta go try to get that win anyway.
And mind you,
Is what it is.
I do think the referees were a little
Shit.
biased on our side in this game.
They were shit today.
Yeah, I don't think the referee was
He
very
lose the ball,
fair.
by the way.
I'll be
Again, I don't know
honest.
if you can watch. I don't know if you can use your eyes. Like, he doesn't lose the ball. His touch takes him, like, his touch, which is the first touch he takes when the pass comes into him, is taking it away from Chalobah under control. Like,
Yeah.
people are actually stupid. Like, debating whether this is a foul because of, like, him standing on the player is one thing. To say he loses the ball is straight up wrong, and you're an idiot if you think otherwise.
But that's why I've never even brought up that debate because I don't even.
Yeah, no, I'm just talking
to
about that dude because he's an actual
But-
idiot. Like, if you want to use the argument of like he stepped on it, like I see JC's had like no, now JC makes a stupid comment, of course he does. of like, oh, he stood on him. Like I think CNAC said earlier, yes, it's harsh, but it's a foul because he stood on him. That's a debate we can have. To say he was never in control of the football is fucking wrong and a lie. You can see here, he literally has control of the football.
Yeah, like if Chalobah weren't there, he's doing that anyway. If like, yeah, Chalobah weren't that close, like he's got control fully.
But that's the thing, right? Like for me, it's a clear and obvious foul because anytime, like with In Life No Limit, many people have said, anytime.
Yeah, this is an actual argument you can make.
It's a foul. So whether it's intentional or not, and I know his foot can't go anywhere else, right? Like the shift of his body, wherever he's gonna land, especially doing that maneuver, it's gonna end up landing on Chalobah, right? So whether or not he intended it is my argument, doesn't matter. It's a foul because you're stepping on the player. And I think what makes it more of a foul, or at least not more of a foul, but I think what makes this, I guess, egregious maybe is the word I'm looking for, is the fact that it leads up to a goal. If it didn't lead up to a goal, I'd be curious to see how they call, if they even call this at all.
They never call this. Yeah, this never gets called if it doesn't result in a goal, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the part where
the only reason it got pulled up because they scored. Yeah. That's the only thing I do definitely agree. It's like if it's not a clear and obvious one, I don't think VAR should step in, but they always do. So I just don't feel bad for it. Like we get put in those situations. Fulham do, United do, Liverpool do.
Sunderland doesn't matter. You're stepping on the player. Like it's again,
very harsh.
It is harsh, but you see, like it lands. His foot lands, ankle rolls down to the top of the foot. Like it was unintentional, but at the end of the day, like it's still a foul. Like if you get stepped on the pitch, it's usually a foul. So. Anyways, you want to go into the next one because this gets.
I don't think that's that controversial.
One thing I will say quickly is that listen, we don't need to justify every decision that goes our way or not. Like I just feel like listen, it went our way. That's what really matters, and it meant that the game was still 0-0, which was the important thing.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, we still win 2-1, even if this counts, right? Like.
You
never know.
It could have changed.
I think it depends on the flow of the game. In that moment in time,
because they can play a different game. They can sit back more, I guess. Can't they?
True. It's true.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I don't know if it changes the result, but I do think it gives them more of a chance than they had, and it puts us in a position where we then have to come back from 1-0 down, which obviously we already did against West Ham.
Especially if the lap would have been hard.
It's one of those where like it affects the game in such a way where unfortunately. It does have such a highlight on it, and again because of other decisions, which I assume we'll talk about, and just the piss poor refereeing that happened today, and the piss poor use of VAR, which by the way, the second one for what I was talking about earlier is even worse. Like, just
wait, you think that one's like blatantly like no?
Like, I'll explain when we get talking about it, Chris. I'll explain why.
Okay.
Like, let's talk about it right now.
With something I said earlier. So basically, like I said earlier, I've had since VAR has been introduced to the Premier League, I have had this hatred, for lack of a better term, for the way it's been utilised by the Premier League referees because of how shit they are. Because it's only meant to be used for clear and obvious errors. It took the referee 4 minutes, by the way.
Yeah. Okay.
Or 3 or 4 minutes to be at the monitor to look at this. This is not, by the way, what the VAR was for the handball, because that's a clear handball. What the VAR was for that took 4 minutes is just before this in the build-up, JOAO Pedro was challenging with, I think it was Bassi or someone else, and they were trying to determine whether it hit his hand or not. It took them 4 minutes to work that out. If something takes you 4 minutes to look at, to work out, it's not clear and obvious. So you should never overturn it. They didn't in the end. But because this doesn't take you 4 minutes. This is clearly a handball. There's no debate about that, right? I don't even think Fulham fans would debate that. This is a clear handball. I don't understand. I don't understand. What
that's why we've got stupid time added on 9 minutes each half actually, because the ref was taking so long to like decide in the VR.
I don't know if you've got the clip actually, Marshall, of the slight bit before this.
The JOAO Pedro, yeah.
Yeah, the JOAO Pedro thing that they're trying to.
I don't think it's I think it's a penalty anyway. It's still regardless because
Yeah,
literally like 30 seconds in between, and he's pulling his arm away anyway, and the guy pushed him forward anyway, so his arm's gonna be like swinging forward. But there was like 5 different dudes who had a touch afterwards. So
this is what they spent 4 minutes trying to work out whether this was a handball. This might be the 6th time I've watched this, and I can't tell. I've watched it 6 times.
The problem is this happens before even the main offense occurs. So there's no even any need for you to look at this offense.
Oh no, there is. There's Ahmed, there is, because after this is when it gets recycled out, and from that is when the cross happens. So if this is a handball, like
I thought this happened afterwards. This
happens just literally before. So if this is a handball, we shouldn't have got the penalty. They should have got the free kick. My point is, if you like, I'm taking 2 looks at this. If I can't decide that this is a handball, I'm moving on. I'm going, cool. I'm not overturning that because it's not clear and obvious. I move to the next decision, which was that handball that we had, which is the most clear thing that VAR had to do today. That's what I'm saying. That's what vexes me about this. Because you knew it was a handball in terms of from a Sessegnon thing. We all knew that. This thing shit pissed me off. Like I said, I've watched this now 7 times with the 2 on here. I can't tell you whether that was like... I can't tell whether he touched it with his hand or not.
He might slightly, like...
Very slightly.
And I don't think it changes the direction of the ball. Like, they all kick that. They all play the ball afterwards.
Look at the way the ball spins.
I think there's 5 different dudes who touched the ball before, like, Chalobah crossed it, by the way.
Yeah. You see how the ball, like, it was going upwards and then it stopped.
Yeah, like, he's trying to...
He does touch it with his wrist. Yeah. But this is clearly unintentional. As you can see,
I don't think it matters. Like, too much
it doesn't.
Okay.
Because Basasi, he wasn't.
I used the wrong wording. Yeah. Right. His hand is in a natural position, and he's naturally trying to take his hand out of the way. On top of it, too. Like, no, it's in a natural position. How you really?
No, I get why he did, because he's getting shoved and getting pushed, and like,
no, his hand is not in a natural position. His hand is not in a natural position. The issue is like no, Ishi, you're a fucking idiot. If you can't understand why I'm annoyed, you just didn't listen. The problem with this is I don't even know the ruling actually anymore. I think is the bigger issue of like, because I know there was a thing at least a couple years ago where it was like any handball on an attacking instance, you know, like when you'd score a goal, right, and it hit your hand, it might be unintentional, but because it hit your hand, it didn't matter. It was instant, like, disallowed goal.
Yeah.
I think that was the case for like all attacking instances. So I think even with this, if his hand's in that unnatural position, which it is technically because it's above his head or whatever, that would still be a foul, or like it would have been a free kick to them. But yeah, like I said, it took us 8 attempts, or took me 8 attempts to come to that conclusion, to watch that multiple times. So that's why I got pissed. Like, it's just, it shouldn't take you. Like, if it takes you more than 3, it's not clear and obvious, you just move on to the next one.
So, like, for me, this one is a clear and obvious.
Yeah, this is clear. This is
because this shouldn't have taken forever. I agree. Because he goes to block the ball, but he puts his hands up to block it as well. Yeah, this is a very unnatural jump, in my opinion, to block.
I kind of get it, because you do kind of swing your arms when you're like trying to block a ball, but like it's still well out there, and I don't. Like, it's definitely a penalty because of it. Like, I'm not going to disagree, but I don't think the player's doing it deliberate still, though.
The JOAO Pedro one, you can tell, like, as the ball's about to come down, he's getting ready to touch it with his foot, but it gets intercepted by Tete and hits him in the wrist as he's pulling away. So, like, for me, that one's more like a ball to hand versus this is a hand to ball situation, if that makes sense to people. So, like, this is a clear handball, where the other one's not so clear. It looks like he's taking his hand out of the way, and it's in a more natural position based on his balance and stuff, right? There's no excuse for it. You're using your whole entire body to block it, and you put your hand out there as well. Like, this is so clear and obvious. So, like, people crying about how Fulham were robbed. Like, I think the refereeing wasn't great this game, but I don't think both of these decisions. The first one, yeah, you can make the argument for it. It's harsh. I think at the end of the day, it's a foul. It's a black and white for me. But this one, come on now. Comparing this to the JOAO Pedro one, I think it's a stretch.
No, as I said, I think the whole, because this and the JOAO Pedro thing is all linked together, is because it's just my annoyance for VAR or the usage of VAR. Because I think Joe Cole said it as well, when it's the point I made earlier, like it was brought in to be for clear and obvious, and it's become a farce because of the morons we have using it.
We don't change the referees though in the Premier League.
That's what I'm saying. It sucks because you get incompetence, and this isn't like we won, and I can say this, right? It's not me being salty. The fact that like we lost and I thought the referee, no, we won and the referee was shit. So it's just, yeah, like I said, it's just an annoyance of like how piss poor VAR has been utilized just ad nauseum since it's come in, which sucks. Because like what's annoying as well is like I don't think any of us want to speak about this. Like I don't want to be having a debate about like that Chalobah incident with Muniz, or about VAR taking 45 minutes to look at a handball when what you're actually looking at isn't the handball in question. It's something that happened slightly before the handball, which took you 8 attempts and 4 minutes to look at it. Yeah, like I don't want to talk about that. I'd rather like I'd rather talk about the performance from the team, whether it's good or bad, right? I'd rather talk about that stuff. I hate like talking about this is just annoying because more often than not, it's all negative because it's always a fuck up from the referee, whether it's for us or against us. Like it's just shit.
No, agreed. Ahmed, you have any thoughts on this whole handball situation?
No, he doesn't.
Ahmed does not. Ahmed may not be here. Ahmed not in the building.
You might show up. You talk about Enzo or something. Scammer Enzo or something.
Right. But yeah, like I saw the timeline, and obviously, like I said, guys, take my opinions a little bit of the game itself with a pinch of salt, because I was way too tired this morning and I didn't really watch it too well. But in terms of like what the TL was saying about Fulham robbed, no, I don't think Fulham were robbed. I think Chelsea didn't have a great performance, but Chelsea were in control of most of the match, and Fulham were not great. Let's be real.
I thought like step pieces and corners today were
good, but just didn't create anything.
They didn't create nothing, so I didn't feel like they were going to get goals anyway.
Like for me, like maybe that Fulham deserved to win against United, right? Because that towards the end, like they were controlling the game. Smith Rowe came on, made a difference, all this and that.
I thought Joe was still fair. I still thought Joe was fair in that United game when I watched it, but
yeah, no, I get that. But I think
yeah.
Fulham were hard done by, right? But I also believe that in this game, you saw how those subs came on. It didn't impact the game at all. We were fine. We were in control. Like, I mean, their best chance, I think, was, I don't even know if it was onside, but it was the clearance that JOAO Pedro made. Which, by the way, we should transition this conversation over to one about JOAO Pedro, because this guy is slowly but surely. I mean, I know it's early days. I don't want to get too hyped up about it, but it's slowly but surely becoming potentially the best signing of the summer. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let's go over the goal, because this is his goal, obviously. Brilliant goal from him. We have someone that can head the ball. This is great. I forgot this feeling. Yeah, I forgot the feeling.
This is not the first head he scored, right? I'm not tripping on like he
scored another one against West Ham.
Yeah, like okay. I swear he's been scoring a few headers, even in like other games.
That's another thing. 4 set piece goals now so far this season. We're dangerous on set pieces.
Well, we're like Arsenal in that sense.
I would say we're much better than Arsenal, because at least
their corners is dirty. How they set up and all that, like it's still good.
Sure. That, but also we can score goals. We're not exclusively dependent on set pieces to win and score goals. No, whereas,
but maybe they won't be too
were.
And as
maybe not. But yeah. I mean, talk to me, Chris, about this goal, man. What a brilliant header from JOAO Pedro.
No, like I say,
I didn't realize his heading ability was this good.
He might be like the striker we need. Like we ain't had a real good striker since like Diego Costa, and he like showed in the club. I talk about this game, of course, but like the Club World Cup, he was scoring goals. Like even friendlies, like in preseason, he scored goals, and I think he's 2 goals and 2 assists, I think, in the Premier League so far. In 3 games, like he has been a massive difference maker. If we didn't get him this transfer, man, this window would be absolutely dog shit, I think. But like he's the only like shining light in this whole like transfer window so far. What I've seen, like who we brought in is good. But yeah, like it's so nice to see like a guy who can score, a striker who can score headers again. Because I remember like Tammy Abraham, a tall guy but who could never header the ball. Jackson, who's also quite tall, I think, and who couldn't really header a goal either. I don't know how tall JOAO Pedro is. He looks like he's 5'11". He's just got a good jumping ability, and yeah, like accuracy as well. He's got the accuracy for it. I didn't think JOAO Pedro really had this game in him because like saw him at Brighton, like
he's 6 foot.
He's 6 foot. Okay, close enough. Like that's still a nice height then.
It's tall. Yeah, he's tall.
But he's not like mega tall or nothing. But yeah, what's
he's not
saying?
Voltamade.
But what'd you say?
He's not Voltamade.
No. But yeah, like it's nice to see, and honestly, like I can see this guy maybe scoring like 15 to 20 goals as well. Like this season, he's already like on fire. That was it. I just didn't expect to see this from him. I thought he'd be like average for Chelsea. I thought, yeah, he scored 5 open play goals, 5 penalties. I didn't really moan about it, but I didn't really like care about the signing. I just thought he'd be like maybe a potential 10 or winger or sometimes strike. I want him at strike or 10 at times anyway, if we need to be. But yeah, I want him like in that central area for most of the time.
He played. Yeah. He's almost like
it felt like he played striker
today.
Yeah, but like he was definitely that 10 when Delap was on. But like it felt like he was moving up higher when Delap had to be subbed off because of that injury. Sadly, that's a shame for him as well. But yeah, like he's on fire. He's just like he's him right now. He's just him. It's great to see because like I'm not really like that happy with the transfer window we had, but like he's been brilliant, and for the price we paid 60 million, it's looking like a real good steal right now. I didn't expect to say, but
you know,
a lot of players I just don't expect a lot from. Like I remember from Cole Palmer, I just didn't expect a lot from him. He became a really good player, so maybe I need to say this to a lot of players. I don't expect a lot. Maybe Garnacho will cook.
Okay, let's calm down. Let's keep it to JOAO Pedro. Scott, what do you think about JOAO Pedro's performance, and do you like his positioning in this game? Do you like him like as a second striker?
I thought he was excellent, and I thought he was man of the match. Like I know he was given it, but I thought that was the right call. And I don't know, like I think it's interesting because he's looked really good there in the last couple games. It's obviously only 2 games, but it's interesting because he's played really well there, as I said. He, even after Delap went off, he still played well. I think he was like our best attacker, obviously by a mile, but I think he was the only attacker that didn't look a little bit disjointed at times, I should say. It's just that, how do I word this? The problem with him playing there is you have not, and this is an issue with squad planning, which it seems to always come back to squad planning with this team, is you have not set the team up in a way where you can have him there long term, and you are not seemingly signing players with the view of having him there long term, which is interesting because what I found really interesting is like when obviously Delap got injured, I fully expected it to be okay. JOAO Pedro goes back up front, Esteban in the 10, Neto on the right, Gittins on the left. Like that just made sense. Considering the only other attacker we had on the bench was George, and all things point to we are selling him. So to then bring him on seems weird if he's leaving the club within the next couple of days.
That's why I didn't do
He brought George on, played him up front. George was okay, didn't really do too much, but he's also playing out of position. So
exactly.
And also, like, you can tell from a talent level, he's a level behind the other 3 that are on the pitch. So
sure,
he's going to stand out in that sense. So yeah, I thought that was interesting that the manager seemed to think that having JOAO Pedro in the 10 was just the better option. It's something I spoke about on, I don't think I spoke about on here, I think I spoke about on Lewis's stream of if you end up with a situation this season, or if with the way we're playing, because I'll be honest, if we keep playing how we're playing, when Palmer comes back, I just put him on the right wing. and have Joao Pedro
Sure.
in the 10, because that alleviates two problems that we're having in the team in terms of, well, it's more one problem, but so with Palmer, how he's playing at the moment, I think we can all agree that he, at least in the league, obviously he only played one game, but he wasn't very good, and he seems to be having similar issues to last season of, there was almost this like, what's it called, just like sort of gravitas around him in terms of he's obviously going to like have people focus on him. When you have him on the right hand side, it's harder for you to do that because it drags players out of position. Like, you can't have your central midfielder marking him, because all of a sudden that's a central midfielder being dragged out to the right hand side or their left hand side for the other team and leaving a space in the middle. And especially if you then have a Joao Pedro in the 10, it's like, okay, you really can't do that. Now, maybe this is alleviated if we play Estevao and whatever, because then it's a similar thing of like, you can't really leave Palmer by himself because then you have Estevao, whatever. But yes, I think it alleviates that in a sense. The issue then becomes twofold. Number one is the lapse of the starting striker of the week, because if he is, I can get behind that, but he's now injured for potentially 8 weeks. That's nearest makes no difference, 2 months.
Yeah, of course.
And secondly, we don't currently have a backup striker. I know there's obviously the Jackson thing. If he never comes back to the football club, which he's currently refusing to, we don't have a backup striker. Our backup striker is Shim.
Yeah, and I can't rely on him. He's too.
Wait, who's the
too
backup
rough.
striker now?
Shim
Shim.
Ueka.
Currently is Shim Ueka.
How old
Because
is
you loaned out Hiu to be third choice striker at a newly promoted team. Fantastic, great business there. And the thing with Shim is, I know a lot of people like him. Unless he's improved on certain things from last season, the physicality seems to be an issue. Not necessarily like talent footballing wise, but there seems to be a physicality issue, which there often is, of like stepping up from what's it called? Youth football to men's football. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. And also, even if you have a Delap or Jackson in there, that's still two strikers, one of which no one likes, one of which is currently injured.
Yeah.
Still a bit of a problem there. So yeah, I think that's the only worry I have about playing Joao Pedro there long term. Because honestly, like, as I said, it's been really good, and it's like, if it continues to be good, actually there is another problem with him playing there, which again comes back to squad building. Of if you end up with a situation where you have Joao Pedro in the 10, Palmer on the right, and what's his face, Neto on the left. If we end up doing the deals that it looks like we're going to do, what's the point of Buonanotte? What was the point of buying Garnacho for 40 million? And what was the point of buying what was the point of buying one or Gibson's or Garnacho?
Two left wingers.
To both be back up. And then we're buying Buonanotte, and we've apparently bid for Furman. Like, that's another issue, but that's a separate issue. If we're just focusing on like actually who plays, yeah, like, I think it can work, and I think it is working currently. And I also think the other thing, actually, I know I'm rambling a little bit.
Come on, TKO. What are you talking about?
Everyone
hates Jackson.
I was going to say,
No, that's not true.
so when I say everyone, I'm being hyperbolic. There are obviously still people who think he can contribute, but I think most people have given up on him at this point because of who we've got.
The amount of failed comps I see of Jackson.
I gave up. I don't like actually dislike Jackson, but I just gave up on him.
No,
the other thing as well is, if Jackson does come back into this team, which obviously we're trying to get him back, I think him having Joao Pedro in the 10 is actually going to be really beneficial to him, because I think you saw today there was one moment, and he's had a couple of these where I think Neto put in a cross and he was just a little bit too late to get the ball, but he's like making that late run. We have nowhere near enough players that do that in squad. Like, the only one I can think of that did it regularly was ENZO last season. He obviously did it for the goal against West Ham. Outside of that, there's not too many players we have that do that, I think. So I think if Jackson can have another guy to, again, pull defenders away from making late runs and link up with, that's going to play closer to him than I think a Palmer would have in that same position, it's going to help him in some ways. Now, it's not going to fix the finishing, obviously, but I think it helps him in that sense. So that's something to think about as well. So yeah, it's an interesting dilemma to have. It's one I don't envy in terms of Maresca. It may not be one he has to make, obviously, with the whole Delap situation. But yeah, it's an interesting one to have. Like I said, the only downside on it is you just may have ended up wasting money just buying players you just didn't need. You bought for no reason.
Yeah, I mean, Ahmed, now that you're back, I'll throw the question over to you. How do you feel about the role that JOAO Pedro played today? He wasn't necessarily a striker, but like a second striker type of role today. You're muted.
The thing is, as I said before, this is why I wanted this formation, because I think this brings out the best in JOAO
Yeah,
Pedro.
you did mention this actually. That's
right.
true.
So this is for me like why I've always said we should be playing this formation. It works best for this player. It works obviously having a Delap alongside him. I think this works best because he was a much better combination player. Right. Obviously, I know Jackson. It seems is now on his way back to the team. I'm not sure that's going to be as synergetic as maybe a Delap and a JOAO Pedro is, because I think they both. Delap and JOAO Pedro are vastly different players, if that makes sense, in terms of the way they play football. And so because of that, it works a lot better. I think the thing with Jackson and a JOAO Pedro is that I think they are quite similar, if that makes sense, right? And so I am wondering now, one of the issues that we had obviously previously was like with Palmer and Nkunku, right? Palmer and Nkunku, they love to play the same position, they love to do the same things. And so you saw that kind of ended up giving you zero chem, as you saw. They didn't pass each other, they didn't work together at all. Like there may be a situation where I do worry that having a Jackson, right, then was and a JOAO Pedro, it may be a similar situation that might occur too. Because I know it's something that I think a lot of people aren't thinking about, because I think people assume having Jackson back, you're still gonna have the same old Jackson, but we also need to realize that this is the formation going forward. Is he going to be able to kind of fit seamlessly, or are there things that we're going to have to start doing to adjust to make stuff happen, if that makes sense too?
I also think like it's not the end all be all for Jackson anyways, because I know we're going to talk about it more tomorrow, but
I was about to ask, are we going to address the Jackson situation on this stream or not?
Yeah, let's
there is another thing.
There's
one thing I want to go towards before we go to Jackson, which is that there's also need to be something that we need to be honest about in terms of like the Club World Cup and like the way some of our quite a few of our players are looking, right? Particularly at the start of games, particularly just in terms of like fitness levels. If we're being fair, I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, Kukurea is my Kukurea. He's my guy now.
Oh, it's your Kukurea.
Kukurea is my guy now, right? But like, I'll be real with you, mate. Kukurea, mate, he looks like, bro. Listen, like I'm gonna use like a FIFA reference here. Kukurea is like he's like he's got a red stamina, but the stamina bar's like this right now. If that makes sense, you know what I mean? Like, I would actually Enzo Fernandez, I would include in this situation too. He seems like someone that's like got that much stamina, and then he's got like the red rings like this level as well. Caicedo, to an extent, is very similar to that too, right? He looks really like Caicedo looks like that too as well, right? And I feel like for me, there's a couple of players that I'm looking at here who are playing in key business for us who look very leggy. I don't know if you know, Marshall. I know we might talk about this tomorrow. But Caicedo only trained yesterday, right? So
really,
for me, yes, that was his first training. So for me, like the reason why I'm bringing all this up is not for me to be saying like I've told you so, but I also think like we also need to realize like some of these guys, bro, are not 100%. They're not ready. They're not fully being right. And so for me, this is one of my criticisms now. I'm gonna have a Maresca, which is that, and this is an issue I had with him last season too. If some of your guys aren't 100%, don't risk it right now. It's the beginning of the season. Ironically, I hate to say it like this, but it is the beginning of the season, right? You've brought in, I think, good players where some of these guys can either get limited minutes, but I don't mind you starting them in some of the games, right, initially, but you can bring in guys. You've got guys like Santos now. You've got guys like Hato. You've got guys like Isugo, you know what I mean, who Marshall tells me is a good player. You know what I mean? So, there's guys now that we've got in some of these positions where I do think, listen, when you're playing a Fulham, when you're maybe playing some of these lower teams, because that's what we have at least to begin with, right? Start playing these guys. I'm not, and this is not me being like, Managerial. But it's just me being like, just given like a quite like a analytical critique here, because listen, guys, we've got like the Champions League coming up very soon. We've already lost Palmer. We've already lost Delap.
How long's Palmer out for?
I don't know.
They're not really told us how long.
Because it's international break, right? So this might still go in our favor. Like he might be.
You never know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But the point I'm trying to make, I'm still trying to make. I think still matters in the sense that we've lost some key players now, right? So we need to start managing these minutes. Like again, I think the gift that we have going forward in attack is that we've got so much talent there that you're not going to lose out on that much. If you lose a player or two in that position.
I will say, is Lavia even fit?
No.
That's what I'm thinking. Who do we like drop? Not drop Caicedo, but like give Caicedo a rest for?
It's meant to be a Sugo.
Oh, yeah, I guess,
This is the issue. You unfortunately, this is the issue you as a club present when you buy, like, for example, right, like Asugo should be the backup to Caicedo, but the problem there's two problems. Number one is the drop off in just ability, but you're going to get that obviously. Secondly is it's more of like timing in terms of, I don't know how to like explain it, but it's just you have to trust him at some point, obviously, because he's a Chelsea player. But if you can't trust him in a game like when you're 2-0 up against Fulham at home with like 20 minutes to go, shouldn't really be in the squad, I'm gonna be honest. And it's the same with players like Hato, and to be fair, we trusted Hato at the last game and he was okay. Like,
but that's his first game of the season, bro. But again,
no, 100%. But my point is, like, he came in, he was a bit like, well, not rash, but he was a bit erratic in some moments, which he's going to be. He's a young player, like you said, playing his first game.
Yeah.
But that's what you're going to get, and so you have to. You're kind of between a rock and a hard place in terms of you obviously don't want those erratic moments really with the level of squad that we have and what you want to gauge from the season and whatnot. But you're going to get that with these players because they're young and they're coming into leagues for the first time, and it's like might only be their like second or third professional season playing. So it's like this is unfortunately with the way they're going about things, what's going to happen, and so it's up to the manager to trust some of these guys. Like we said, like Enzo getting 90 minutes today shouldn't have happened. Caicedo getting just because he was bad for most of the for all the first half. What's his face? Caicedo getting 90 minutes today. To be fair, we've got these breaks that's not massively bad, but I don't want him constantly having to get 90 minutes and we're in a position where we're playing 3 games a week, or we're playing a game on Saturday, we play a game Thursday, we play a game Sunday, and it's like he's playing all 3 games 90 minutes. Now, obviously, we're 3rd game into the season. It's hard to say whether that's going to happen long term or not, but we can only go off what we've seen so far. So yeah, it's an interesting one to look at.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't necessarily disagree with what Ahmed's saying. There was always going to be a cost to participating in the Club World Cup. I don't think anyone was in denial of that. But it's hard for me to say how much the Club World Cup has actually impacted our players, just based off of the fact that this is the first 3 games of the season. So I'm willing to wait and see if it's had that much of a detrimental impact. I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh, now I really regret playing the Club World Cup." Like, no, not at all.
No, you
like,
don't need to say that.
whatsoever.
I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I also. Sorry to interrupt, Marshall. I disagree with Ahmed slightly on that because I don't think there are really any players that, for me at least, obviously it's my opinion, that look like they're gassed or they're tired. I think the players we're talking about, Kukurea maybe, but I haven't really seen much of a drop off. But maybe that's because I don't like some games. I don't always pay the most attention to him. But like the Enzo thing, to me, that's not a drop off from being tired. For example, like he doesn't look tired. He just looks like his role is different now than it was last season. Like he, I think I said this after the was the West Ham or the Palace game? I think it might have been the West Ham game. His role is like it's been simplified to like the nth degree, where he's doing only one thing now, and it's the thing that I don't think any of us want him to be doing in terms of that to be his main focus. It's like a nice piece to have in terms of the box crashing. But that seems to, like the first half, he left Caicedo on an island for 45 minutes doing nothing.
Yeah.
Like, and when he had his opportunities to box crash or to drive us up the pitch and be that attacking 10, he failed. We had a 5-on-1 and he passed to the Fulham player. Sorry, a 5-on-3, not 5-on-1. 5-on-3 and he passed to the Fulham player. So he doesn't look tired to me. And if he is gassed, it's because he's like, I don't think he's overweight, but he's definitely not as fit, I would say, like match fit as he could be. But that's not a tiredness thing for me. That's just keeping yourself fit, so to speak. So yeah, because you saw like when the second half, when he's asked to play a little bit deeper and do a little bit more of his game, like when you're not just limiting to him just being a box crasher. Because I'd said this on a show I did earlier that's going to come out tomorrow. I can find 20 midfielders in the Premier League to do that box crashing job. Like, that's not a specialist thing. Like, people know I don't rate him. You could get Conor Gallagher to do that job. I'm not saying he's going to do it better than Enzo Fernandez, worse than Enzo Fernandez. I'm saying you can get him to do that singular job in the team if that's all you're asking from a player. Enzo Fernandez is so much, like, we've seen he's so much more of a player than that. And you saw in the second half, he did get better because he was doing more of his game. You allowed him to do more. And I don't know whether this is from Enzo, the manager, like limiting him, or just Enzo, the player, not doing enough in games, like just actively deciding to be lazy. That's not the right word to use, but whatever. But yeah, it's just, I don't necessarily think it's a tiredness thing. Because, like, for example, I don't think Neto's tired. He played just as many minutes as anyone else.
This is true. He looks as sharp as everyone else.
Yeah, he still looks sharp. The centre backs, the right backs, like Gusto and Reece James, obviously played a lot of minutes in the Club World Cup. They look sharp.
It's true.
Like Caicedo's another one. Caicedo to me doesn't look like Caicedo.
Like, I think if you look at, for example, like I hear you on Neto, but I hear you on the Neto point. But if you look at, for example, like Gusto and Reece James, I think the manager though has done a great job, particularly for example with Reece James. He's managed his minutes quite well, right? So even the minutes he plays are extremely managed. Gusto, he was in and out in the Club World Cup with being Fabro. He was playing the game.
They was rotating as well, right? Yeah.
So, but like I think just overall the point, even if we don't believe it's that, even if we don't necessarily think the Club World Cup is like a factor or not, it doesn't really, for me it doesn't matter. But the point I do want to still make is that there are guys now on our bench now that we need to start giving minutes to, because we want to I want us to run into a situation again where we're back in January. I'm hearing Hato has to be sent out on loan again. And then we lose depth again because we're not integrating some of these and players into the team. Marshall, if that makes sense.
I think two things here. For one, there's 80 of you guys watching and not nearly enough likes on the videos. So, ladies and gents, come on, like, what are we doing here? We just won 3 points. We're 3 likes away from 40. Oh, we're almost at 40. Let's try to get it to 50 likes, people. Don't forget to wipe your feet at the door. You're in here. You're enjoying the conversation. You're enjoying the analysis. You're enjoying the post-match review and reaction. Go and show some love by smashing that like button. It helps out the channel tremendously. I might be sleep deprived, but I can notice when you guys aren't smashing that like button. Now, secondly, to go, Chris, to go and comment on what Ahmed was saying, right? I have a theory. All right, tinfoil hat time. I know I don't usually like to do this. Well, I love to do this, but I know I argue with a lot of tinfoil hat stuff. I have a theory because it's no coincidence that, to me, that 2 players or 3 that have played the most amount of minutes last season and now have backups are falling, or not saying for falling, but now are having fitness stuff. I think Caicedo, Enzo, Palmer, and maybe you can put in Cucurella in this debate. I think those guys, now that they finally have backups, are no longer forcing themselves to play through injuries. And I think these players had injuries going into last season that they're just kind of forcing themselves to play through. Example, Enzo, when he had the hernia, he went and played through that hernia despite it was months and months that he had it, right? And he still played through it. I think Caicedo is probably hiding injuries that he's not gonna, putting out there and in public, and doesn't want to worry the coach, wants to play minutes. Obviously, these players want to play. And obviously with the pressure of I need to win trophies and stuff like that comes coming in here at Chelsea, I think these players are forcing themselves to play through injury. Palmer especially, I think, is definitely one of them. So in a sense, now that we have backup, I agree. We need to use our depth more, 100%. And that's why I'm going to wait until a little bit later in the season to see if Enzo Maresca actually does that, or if he's going to be stubborn, because there are times when he does do it and there are times when he unfortunately doesn't, and it's annoying because you need to defend these players. Like, for example, JOAO Pedro, because he's our only striker now, and Delap is coming off an injury, take him off. You don't need to play him the full 90. You're already winning the game 2-0. Go ahead and take that defensive shape. You don't need to keep him on. You can put on someone Neto or wherever, some false nine.
I mean, we have Hato as well, like for Cucurella.
Exactly. So it's like we have players that we can rotate in. Maybe they're not ready to come in and they don't maybe understand the system as much as well as other players. But at the same time, now that we do have backups for these players, maybe the players are kind of thinking like, okay, I can maybe nurse this injury. We have a backup. Maybe not, but I do feel like this is a continuation of last season, not so much stuff that's occurred as a result of Club World Cup. That's my theory. I don't know if you guys kind of see it or maybe don't, but yeah.
I am Brew. Let's go.
Yeah, disgusting, man. That's disgusting.
What is that?
Yeah, I can't believe you drink that.
Listen, the pride of Scotland, mate. Lovely. You know what I mean?
I bet you most of chat won't like it either, man. Iron Brew is disgusting.
Iron
if
Brew
you live in the UK, Scott, do you like Iron Brew?
Never had it.
Really?
Yeah, see.
I thought it was disgusting when I tried it.
Just orange soda?
Yes.
What's quinine?
Iron Brew in Scotland to a secret recipe since 1909.
I can't believe you like that. That's
it's older than Chelsea.
What the fuck is candy floss?
What? You don't know what candy floss?
No.
Okay, candy floss is cotton candy.
Yeah,
you know the thing that you have in like
Thank you, Scott. Thank you. Scott knew exactly why I didn't know what the hell that was.
Oh, I
appreciate you. Thank you. But yeah, what do you guys think about that? Like, do you think these players are actually just carrying injuries from last season? And now that we have backup, they're now maybe
we didn't really
given more of a license to.
Did we really have like a lot of injuries from last season?
Like, Marshall,
no, but I'm talking about
these guys
playing
were carrying
through injuries,
issues.
regardless, carrying issues.
If they were like kind of like playing through injuries, if there's one thing the club is not good at keeping secrets on, it's injuries. I don't want to keep it. Kind of isn't injuries, right? They will usually do. Yeah, and like listen, man, these guys used to give out a report. Match report about players going into injury.
Oh, yeah, that was fucking potch season. That was crazy.
You know what I mean? So, but the point I'm making is like, obviously, in the Club World Cup period, they were telling us that like these guys were injured. This guy was not injured. This guy was injured. So like they're not scared yet to tell you if stuff is happening or not at the end of the day. So.
Maresca did kind of come out and say like, "Oh, he's playing through injury and this and that." Like,
wait, who is this playing through injury?
Speaking of Maresca quotes, by the way, there was a quote of him after the game. I don't know the full quote. There's only a little bit where he basically hinted about us needing another striker.
Jackson came in.
I mean, that's where we got Jackson back.
Sorry, that hot, bro. I want to kind of.
I can't lie to you.
I want to speak about that situation, by the way. I have so many thoughts about that situation.
Listen, I can't lie to you, man. This is like, we talk about bailouts before, you know what I mean? Yeah. We've had the 2008 bank crisis bailout by the government in the UK, in the US it happened too. But like these sporting directors have had the greatest bailout.
They're like cockroaches, bro. They'd never die.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? I swear to God, yeah, this morning when I was watching the game, when Delap went injured, yeah, I was like, can we cancel Jackson's loan? And generally, I was literally
the first thing I thought, like Jackson be cancelled.
I was literally in a restaurant after the game, and then I see my phone like blowing up and then I just see David Ornstein, Jackson loan cancelled, and I was like, I didn't know
what's nuts is Ahmed. I don't know if you saw what I put in the group chat. You know what's nuts? If our game had been 5 hours later, so it'd been the evening kickoff, the late kickoff.
Yeah, it'd been done.
We'd have signed the
Yeah,
contract.
we would have been fucked. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the matter, we're talking in a matter of hours. We're talking about going from playing the morning kickoff, the early kickoff, to the late kickoff.
See,
This is the one you're talking
I
about.
think if by Unique, right? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, this is the one I was talking about.
I
It
was
wasn't
gonna say,
reported by Bob. Like it wasn't this tweet, but it was the same quote tweeted by someone else. So yeah,
Mhm.
I don't know how we gonna go for another striker though.
we're not. We're just going to bring Jackson back.
We can't even
just-
bring in the
sorry,
Simmons
these-
or
I think for me, there is
William
one more.
Lopez.
Like, I think the reason. Listen,
Or buy some random Argentina
There
kid
is
instead.
clearly one more deal the club is targeting right now. Yeah.
Buonanotte.
No.
Renato's done.
Done. We know it's
Yeah.
done. It's the Fermin Lopez deal. That is
Which
the
makes no
deal,
sense.
now, because-
right.
Well, you don't think
That's-
that move makes any sense?
We just signed Buonanotte.
Yeah, but like he
But they
didn't
just
go
did it-
play
they
though,
just
is he?
did it today for the player.
He
No,
barely
I
plays minutes. though.
understand that, and you're not wrong. But I'm saying, bro, like we've just signed the 10 that you wanted, the backup to Palmer. Where does Lopez play?
Well, I felt like he would start
This is why
Where?
in the
Over who?
in the 10 role
So what happens when Palmer comes back?
on the right. This is why I really want to
So
shout.
why have we? Okay, Chris. So why have we bought? So where's Buonanotte playing then?
Buonanotte's right there.
He'd be on.
He's there for the right.
He playing
He's
to me. He's playing.
Okay.
He's playing that bench.
Ahmed, I'm so
Strike.
glad you said that. Hold on.
He's
I'm
playing
so
that
glad
bench
you
to
said
me,
that.
because-
That's what the club
So
is
what
saying.
you're
That's
telling me?
what I'm saying. That's what the club's saying.
No, okay. So what you're telling
Why
me
we
is
buy Ganacho too?
So yes. So what you're telling me is we've signed 4 wingers in this window, all of them for depth.
I mean, yeah, technically that's what it
According
done.
to Chelsea, yes.
Wait, how much did we buy that Argentina kid anyway from Brighton for? Like 15 mil?
No,
10
it's a
million.
loan.
Who?
Is that low?
It's
a
a
loan.
straight loan.
So it's not even like option to buy.
No. So
No,
it's a loan
nothing.
with.
Why the hell do we even do this?
No.
It just felt like a waste
So
of time.
no. So the Buonanotte deal is a loan.
Wait, TM, is
but
that actually true? Did they word it? Did Ornstein word it? It's a backup right wing.
Yeah.
So hang on.
They
So
literally
you're
word
telling me?
Ornstein
Hold
for
on.
me. Give me
I
a
know.
second.
I
He doesn't
apologize,
play right wing, does he?
Marshall. I apologize for derailing this. So you're telling me that what me and Jimmy said the other day on Lewis's stream about we've literally bought 2 left wingers for 90 million to have our starting right winger be our starting left winger because we just bought a backup right winger.
Yeah, that's what happened. Do you not? I thought you understood that. That's
No,
what was
me
Jimmy
and Jimmy were like. So when I was saying that, I was saying like we've
just
made an
crazy.
error in that sense. Otherwise, one of them has to start. I was saying that more in a sense of the best case scenario in terms of our best team is our starting right winger starting at left wing and then
Yes,
playing
left
Esteban.
winger is a left back now, a left winger. I've said this before. The club, I think,
So,
Brother,
Brother, so when
I don't get why we've done this before.
so when Quenda comes back, 2 wingers have to leave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this one's
Listen,
alone.
I'll be honest, man. With the way Gibbons is looking right now, man, he's not making that. No,
So you spent 90 million.
No, I
on
think
2
Giants are
guys.
gonna actually be gone soon.
he's not
So
making
you
that.
spent
Bro.
90 million on 2 guys who are not going to be here in a year's time, and you still have not addressed the fucking centre back position.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the annoying part. We ain't
the
got a
thing-
new
the thing-
keeper.
the
We ain't got a
thing
new
for me,
centre back since
like-
Colwell got injured.
Like, slightly bringing it back a little bit, yeah. There's one more
Anyway.
the club is targeting, right? Which is the Fermin Lopez deal. Whether that happens or not is another thing entirely. But that's the one they're going like ace to the walls. Like they get Murphy even to call the player to make that deal happen. So that's the final deal we're trying to make. Like obviously, it seems they're trying to like delay the goalkeeper buyer because they're probably trying to get Manana on a free. That's just the most logical solution. At least that's according to what they're trying to do. I have no idea what's going to happen with centre backs because I don't know how you move on from Fofana. I don't know how you move on from Buddy Shield. I don't know how you even move on from Chalobah at this point because it's kind of. I'm surprised that Chalobah's not even getting any bids, bro. I thought this method was really the method.
Wait, do you
to
thought
get Chalobah
Chalobah
out
would
of
get
the club.
bids? Just say.
Yes, I originally thought Chalobah might actually get bids for us.
I don't think
yeah.
we're looking to sell this guy though.
Yeah, I say I
no,
don't.
but
I
the thing
think-
is,
Yeah, I
the
don't
thing
think
is,
so.
though,
I'd
the
say
thing
no.
is, though, Tosin got bids. That's the only
Did
difference I'd say. Tosin allegedly has had more.
I say
bids at the club.
apparently he got bid. There were a couple.
But
of
did they
bids.
get
Yeah.
rejected or?
Yeah,
Yes,
they
the
did.
club
Of course they
rejected
did.
them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
that's
what
what,
we're hearing.
well, I
That's
don't see
the-
no rejection. That's all I.
No, that's according to.
It was the
according
bits
to,
true. That's what I was thinking.
It's according to like Pies and like one or two of the other insiders have actually reported that like Tosin has had multiple bids actually going.
Well, in all fairness, Chalobah's more of a star over Tosin. Like when Cole was in the team.
I actually think Tosin's better than Chalobah.
Yeah?
Tosin's better
Come
than
on,
Chalobah.
I'm pretty
Yeah, I
sure.
think
Even when,
Tosin's been better than Chalobah. Yeah.
Yeah, Tosin's better than Chalobah.
wait. Last season?
Yes.
Are we talking
towards
this
the
season or
end,
last? Are we talking this season or last season?
towards the
Towards
end,
the
I
end.
think Tosin was establishing himself as.
I mean,
the
this
number
season I still
two.
say this season, but like I thought Chalobah was better.
No, I think as good as I think Chalobah was good. I think Tosin was better last season. That
Mhm.
being said, I think Chalobah has been better this season so far.
Yeah, I think that's no contest that one, but
But again, it's free
Oh,
games.
I'm so
like,
sorry,
not
guys.
really.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
so
only
sorry,
three
guys.
games,
yeah.
I know I'm derailing from Chelsea, but do you know how much Emerson Palmieri just got sold for?
Like 1 million.
They sold him for £1 million. This is the starting
No,
fullback.
Ahmed. Again, sorry, Marshall. I do apologize.
minute.
If we're gonna talk about outgoings from West Ham, have you seen the deal for Paqueta?
Yes, I thought they're actually
It's a
relegated, bro. They
loan
are
move.
getting relegated. They're getting relegated. They are
A
getting relegated. West
loan,
Ham's getting
bro,
relegated.
they are loaning him. They're not getting money till next year. They're loaning
I
their
actually
best
can't
player.
believe they just sold it for £1 million. What?
good profit.
Hey, David Sullivan, you absolute
What?
criminal. Anyway,
What? Sorry, yeah, but like I just saw that right now, and I was just like, "There's no way you just sold a player for £1 million." You know,
who was there? He was their starting left back last
Just
season.
call this channel Casually ADHD.
What?
750k, 750k pounds. They sold it for. They've sold it for.
Oh, €1 million euros.
Yeah, 1 million. Yeah.
They sold it for 750k. You know how big that?
Yeah, you know what? They can buy something nice of that.
Okay, fuck you. But listen, like the thing, listen, going back to Chelsea, I just think for me, I look at like going back to the idea of like squad building, the players that we have. There's a lot of players that need to be integrated, and I do look at the Carabao Cup, and I'm like, that is now a competition we cannot actually afford to go out in the paper. We need players actually play football, right? That also, for me, on a certain extent, now means FA Cup. Now you really need to be taking that competition seriously because you need some of these guys to get minutes too, right? The thing is,
like
the
the players
Champions
who won't get
League,
minutes, yeah.
right? I feel like the Champions League, there's like basically what at maximum 4, if not 5 teams, right? So obviously Barca, Bayern, Atalanta, Napoli, and I think that's it. Other than that, the other teams you can play a rotated squad, but for those 4 in particular, you cannot play a rotated squad, right? So, what? Atalanta, you're gonna play rotated squad against Atalanta?
Atalanta, you could probably get away with a little bit of rotation.
No.
Is that away or home?
That's away. So I wouldn't
Yeah,
say
you
so.
can't.
Then.
Yeah,
You can't. That's why. Listen, that's why. You know, I was gonna argue you could get away with rotation against Napoli, but if it was at home. But because it's away, I'm giving 5% respect to Conte. I'm giving 5%. The only reason why
Not the former champs. That's the thing because they won the Scudetto last season.
The only reason why I hear you on that, but at the same time, there's also Conte tax in Europe, so we need to
that's also true. But Atalanta, I would rotate. Like for example, like I wouldn't mind Santos playing that game. I wouldn't mind if Santos played that game. I wouldn't mind if like maybe even Gitten starts on the left. You know, like
the thing I was gonna say though, I do wonder. Obviously, Jackson is coming back. Do we think it's going to be a consummate professional? That's the real question you got to ask yourself.
I don't know.
I don't think so. He's already
I feel like he will. I feel like he will be. I don't know. Just because he gets along with a lot of players.
I don't blame him for it, but he
shouldn't have to be.
Yeah.
I don't blame him, but at the same time, I do. I'm like 50-50 about it because...
Marshall, I'll be real. He like, I'm not saying that. Like, obviously, he's still a Chelsea player, so like they can them saying, "Oh, we need you now," because they do need him in terms of obviously that thing. So I'm not saying that, but you told this guy he wasn't needed. He could leave. You did not need him. He was yesterday's news. He could leave, is what you told him.
He could. So
he was leaving. He found a club that wanted him. That was a deal that worked for you. He was leaving. You've now told him, no, come back here and be the striker for 2 months until you're benched again and we don't need you again because Delap got injured and we didn't fucking plan properly.
You know what? That's a good point by
So like,
bring up Team Squad, Marshall.
That is very surprising, but it's good to see him as a
point, you know, because ironically, if you're looking for someone that can at least somewhat replicate what Delap does, it's not this one. I would actually argue Gui might be a better fit. Gui might be a little.
I agree, but
and he doesn't play anyway. So
here's the thing.
Yeah,
that one's already like a done deal. This one was more so of like okay, it's not done yet, so technically we could just cancel this because he never got his medical.
I know
He never did his medical. He never signed the fine line. So it's one of those like, all right, retract it. Which, listen, Scott, you say that, but a lot of people in this chat, in Twitter, were arguing we don't need a third striker, right? And people were glazing over selling him to get. Yeah, and so which is why I find it a little harsh to really lambaste the directors for that specifically, but it's also people wanted him gone because they wanted Xavi Simons, right? There was all this like, oh, you got to sell him and all this stuff, and it's like, okay, fine, I get it. You know where I stand with this, right? I've said it multiple times. He can go, that's fine, and if he stays, I'm fine with it either way. I think there's a good player there, and I do feel bad for what happened, right? Like you get to play for Bayern, and all of a sudden all that collapses because the lap gets an injury. You can't, predict these things. You can't plan for these things. Well, you can, but you can't anticipate them. Just like, during the January window, when I was saying, guys, we're going to be fine. We have two strikers, and all of a sudden both our fucking strikers get hurt. You can't anticipate and plan these things. No, you can try to, have a backup to prevent. But just real quick, let me lay my point. With my take on the Jackson thing, right? Obviously, it's really unfortunate. It looks like it's a hamstring. We don't know how severe it is, but it looks like it was just a pull. He pulled his hamstring, and hopefully the lap comes back ASAP. Regardless, I do think there's a use for Jackson, even if the lap was fit. Either way, but it is what it is, right? With how I feel about the whole Jackson situation, and Ahmed asked, is he going to be professional about it? I have my doubts that he's going to be. I think eventually he'll come around, because at the end of the day, for one, he doesn't know the fans shit. That much I'll say, because the fan base have done nothing but lambaste him and ridicule him and absolutely hate on him ever since the Club World Cup red card. Even before that, the fucking foul against Newcastle. And ever since then, the narrative went from, oh, he's a decent player, to he's just completely shit. He's useless, yada yada yada. Okay. I've sat here constantly. 1 second, Chris. I've sat here constantly to try to defend the guy and try to just say, there's actually a good player there. So I think at the end of the day, Jackson, you need to be professional about this, even though, yes, Chelsea pulls some really sneaky and shitty, shit here by recalling the way it did. We understand why they did it. But at the end of the day, bro, you're still an employee of Chelsea. And we gave you multiple chances to prove yourself here, and you failed. And on top of that, like what Scott said, Chelsea were willing to sell you. And it was never I don't think Chelsea were forcing you out, but you in the beginning said you'll fight for your place, all this and that, whatever. And then somewhere along the lines in the summer, you said, no, I want to go to a club that favors me, and I don't want to have to fight for my position, essentially. He didn't say that, but that's essentially the message I got. And it's like, okay, well, fine. Then go and find another club. You gave up on fighting for a position here at Chelsea. And I think there could have been a fight for position. There's going to be rotation. You could have, especially now, considering we're doing two strikers, or, Delap and JOAO Pedro, there could have been room for Jackson to be utilized in the system right now. But he didn't want to stay and fight for his position. So to an extent, I don't necessarily feel too bad for him, because he didn't want to sit here and fight for his position anyways. So it's like,
fair? But I think Marshall would be a little unfair here to when people kind of turn against him, because I think he kind of essentially, with the Newcastle game and the poor form that was even before that, and then he obviously had an injury, came back, and then those 2 red cards that he had within that 4-game span, right? I really feel a lot of people just lost faith in him in that meantime, because people were trying for the longest, in my personal opinion, to really trust him, because a lot of people understood that the situation he'd come into was not fair, and was a lot of the time the fault of the ownership, right? Because of what they had done to him, essentially just making him the only striker available at the football club. But I think the stuff that happened afterwards, which was just spoken right now, is kind of what made the situation with him untenable, right? Now, obviously, he is coming back now to Chelsea Football Club.
Oh,
I don't know.
One second. I have a genuine question to ask. Isn't Guiu technically now cup tied?
Only for
Yes,
Carabao.
I don't care. Like that's not the like.
So we can't recall him, right? Isn't that the...
No, you can recall him and play him in the league, because I think that's the more important thing. And I think because in the cup, right, you can just play JOAO Pedro up front, especially the early rounds. Because I'm sorry, you should be beating Barnsley and Plymouth and Grimsby and Deesman with JOAO Pedro up front.
I didn't mean to interrupt them. I just need to
you
ask
put
them.
like
No, that's fine. You can even play a false lineup there, bro. You can play
or whatever.
Yeah.
You can play. I'll be real. He's going, but you could play a Tyreek George and have the rest have then a Neto and an Esteval, and you should still win. We needed him for the league, or we needed a striker. Also, I know I'm into a point because I have a point on what Marshall said earlier. I don't know.
I was just gonna make the point. TK, to add to your point, I was actually gonna say it was for Garnacho. They were saying Garnacho goes is Jackson.
Yeah.
That was what was being reported, by the way, right? I just think, listen, at the end of the day, for me, with Jackson, I have no idea how he's gonna react because, you know, we've seen when he gets angry, bro, he gets red cards. So I have no idea.
His agent is going off on Instagram.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him though.
I'm not gonna lie to you. His agent needs to give it up, bro. You know,
He needs to calm down.
You know what I mean? His agent is moving.
Like at the end of the day, he's a Chelsea player. You know.
His agent is
damn
moving
sure
like
you don't have a
proper
say in
African uncle. He's moving like proper African uncle, bro. He's moving like my dad, bro. He's giving out quotes every like 5 minutes, bro. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, and every like 5 minutes, I'm hearing a new saying. I swear to God, yeah. If any of you guys know, yeah, what's it called, yeah, an African household, bro. It's always a dad or your mom. They've got a nice little saying to eat with, man. You know what I mean? That's what's going on right now, bro. He's giving me like a new saying per minute. Have you seen like some of the sayings he's bringing out, bro?
No, not really.
No, you should check it out, man. It's hilarious. He's actually even crashing out right now on Instagram, by the way.
I saw like the one post, like the plane doesn't have legs to go back or something. I was thinking, oh, that's not like plane doesn't have legs anyway to begin with. The plane can fly back.
The plane doesn't fly backwards or some shit.
No, he said the plane doesn't have legs to go backwards or something. I was thinking,
that's the
bro. Like he's just lost his head.
Yeah.
Like he's crashed out.
Go ahead.
The thing I will say, and where I disagree with you, Marshall, is yes, you could have predicted this in a sense of if we were just playing one striker a week, I'd hear your argument more. We have the last 2 games played both our strikers at the same time.
Exactly.
That's and there's no one on the bench. There was George and Gittins. That was it. That's you're playing with fire doing that. Like last week, okay, that's Palmer got injured. Maybe you had to rotate around. Like we don't know what would have happened if Palmer would have been fit. I saw someone earlier say, "Oh, Palmer would have played on the right against West Ham." We don't know that. It might have been Palmer in the 10, JOAO Pedro up front. We have no idea. At the end of the day, especially this game, you chose to play both your strikers. Now, I don't think anyone expected Delap to get injured within 20 minutes or whatever it was, but you're playing with fire. Like, that's just silly. Now you're in a position where you have one striker. You have one striker because you play both of them at the same time. And he's not even playing striker currently. So that's where I say you obviously can't always predict these things. I 100% agree. Like, the thing last season, we needed a striker anyway, but you couldn't predict that we were going to lose both our strikers in the same game at the same time on deadline day. Like, it was sod's law, to be honest. But
that was poetic. That was how poetic. Bro.
Yeah, bro. That's to be fair. That was karma on the sporting directors not doing their fucking job properly. Is what it was.
That was crazy, by the way.
That was footballing God smiting our sporting directors for being incompetent. Is what that was. But this one you could have prevented, and like this whole thing, like this whole what's it called? Like issue or whatever, this whole thing, you could there's 2 what's it called, like solutions to this. That's the word. Just don't sell Jackson or don't push him out the club, because like people can say, oh, he was pushing to leave, this, that and the other. No, it wasn't. Like unless the PR that we keep getting fed from this club is bullshit, which like who knows, everything we've been told is to get Garnacho in, well, this was false anyway, but to get Garnacho in, we had to sell Jackson. And everything we keep hearing about the Jackson situation is he's not wanted anymore. He was not wanted. So that tells me he's not wanted. So you could have just kept him, or see if he's willing to fight for his place, especially if this was an option, by the way, in terms of playing JOAO Pedro in the 10. He would have got plenty of game time. So there wouldn't have been an issue of, oh, you're not going to get any game time. It would have just been a case of now you have to fight for your place instead of being guaranteed starter every week.
Exactly.
Unless he's just not willing to do that, which if he's going to Bayern, he's definitely willing to do that because he's never starting for Bayern. Like, he's legit never starting for Bayern. Not once. Actually, sorry. He'll probably start in the Cup. Outside of that, never starting for Bayern because they've got arguably the best striker in the world on their team. So it's clear to me that there was a level of he would fight for his place. They just didn't want him.
He didn't even start left wing, by the way. He ain't even going to start like at the left wing. Like,
no, probably. Oh, yeah, because they got Diaz there. So that was one option. If you wanted to sell him, I've got no issue if you wanted to sell him. The second thing you could have done, and this is the issue I have, and this is what I spoke about, because I know, Marshall, you said about, people said you didn't need 3 strikers. They're morons. You needed 3 strikers. The issue I had at the time was people saying, oh, you need to spend 30 mil on another striker that's going to compete with Delap and JOAO Pedro.
No, yeah, I disagree.
You get a third striker who is...
Just promote Shimueka at that point. Have him compete.
Maybe, but I didn't know if he was ready. You could have just kept Hugh as another option. But
yeah,
the thing is, you go and get... Because someone... So I saw someone that got mentioned a couple of times in the chat. You go and, like, because we did this in the past in terms of with Giroud, you go and sign a Vardy on a 1-year contract. You go and get a guy on loan who's a little bit older who, you know, isn't going to want to play every single game. But they're good enough. Like, Giroud, for example, he didn't have to play every game. Like, he was more often than not the bench option, even though there were times he was better than the guys he had in front of him. But he was always there to play when we needed him. You know, he comes on and he plays in that Atletico Madrid game. He helps us get the goal in that Champions League run. And there were other games. Like, you had that opportunity there. Like, you could have got Vardy, for example. You could have kept Hiu. You could have loaned in someone else. Like, I'll give you an example. And I'm not, like, I know people are gonna crash out when I say his name, and someone's mentioned in the chat. Someone like a Calvert-Lewin in terms of, I'm not saying Calvert-Lewin specifically, right? But I'm saying an opportunity there of someone on a free who is older, you can sign on a 1-year deal. It's basically like the Buonanotte thing, or you pay him for a year and then fuck him off because that's it, right? Like that kind of thing. We're doing it with Buonanotte for a year on loan, just a straight loan for depth.
Can I say something on that Buonanotte thing, though? And I'll reiterate this, obviously.
You can do that for the striker as well, and then you fix this issue.
That doesn't matter.
So that's what I'm saying. You had the option for both, and what you've ended up is not planning at all from the sporting director, not doing any foresight or planning, and you're now in a position where you caught life again, like the cockroaches you are, because we played the morning kickoff as opposed to the 3 p.m. or the late kickoff.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna talk about Buonanotte today. I'll talk about Buonanotte tomorrow.
No, you know what I'm gonna say? I think the Buonanotte deal, because I wanted to reiterate something. I saw you guys want. He is technically he's basically got matching rights. So what that means basically is, it is a straight loan, but if a club agrees a fee with Brighton, they will ask Chelsea, will you match that fee basically? Does that make sense?
Yeah, so we'll talk about that tomorrow.
The best example I can give is
talk about the deal.
I know, but the best example I'm going to give is basically like an NBA terms. In NBA terms, he's a restricted free agent. What that means is that we have matching rights basically to get him. That's what it means.
By the way, sorry, Marcel, quickly. CFC is just actually reminding me of something. It's not even like we're trying to keep Jackson because we need him. It's like, okay, now Delap's out, we need you. We've said to Bayern, apparently, they can still get him if they buy him. So we don't even want him that bad.
Well, the thing is, we need the money, is what I'm hearing. That we need the money from that Jackson deal to get another striker. Because right now, with the UEFA,
I don't think we're getting a striker, though.
No, then just
we're not getting a striker. Marshall, Jackson.
We are, as things currently stand, we are 24 hours from the window closing. What fucking striker are you getting in 24 hours?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's 40 hours. 40
I thought it was the first it closed.
Wait, what do you mean FC though? Like, and we don't.
It's what?
It's the first, but it closed at the first at 11 p.m., bro.
Oh, so okay, so it's 20. Sorry, we've got 47 hours. They've got 47 hours. Ray Allen, fantastic. Taremi's just left Inter for 2.5 million.
Ain't no way. I mean, to be fair, I mean, yeah, it's not a bad
That
show.
Fofana's about to go to championship. He's about to go to championship, bro. It's too late.
Yeah, he's got three offers apparently.
The point here is, Marshall, is both me, Ahmed, the chat, we're all naming players that you could bring in as a stopgap, because all this is going to be is a stopgap for 2 months while Delap's unfair, but someone who could be the third choice in a pinch if need be. So that could be a Fofana. You're struggling to sell him. No one wants him. Someone, as Ray Allen mentioned, Taremi, he just left. Is going to Olympiacos.
Chill out on Abraham, man. Chill out on Abraham. He's hooked. Santi Jimenez is hooked as well. He's Jimenez.
Santi Jimenez,
thank you for correcting me.
He's not wanted.
I thought it was 11 p.m.
So it's even less. Whatever it is, and it's 40 something hours.
But essentially, the point.
This is the thing of there's the options there for you to do something. You have left it to a point where you're having to take back this guy you don't even want because you didn't plan. That's my ultimate point about it.
Hold on, I got an idea. So first and foremost, for people in chat and maybe in the panel, I don't think you guys don't know this, but a lot of the restrictions, I would say, and a lot of the odd planning to an extent does come from the stupid deal we agreed with UEFA and FFP, where we have to have a significant amount of profit from the roster that competed in the Conference League knockout rounds and on.
Wait, players who played in it?
Yes.
Oh,
and so
we saw
that
D3 for 30.
So that plays a big part as to why, for example,
wait, why do we agree on that?
Because here's the thing, I haven't confirmed this, but it sounds like it's legit. If we don't comply with this, we could potentially serve a 3-year ban from European competition, which nobody wants.
I thought I thought it was
like 2-3 years anyway.
I thought the report was that it wasn't a ban; we would get restriction on the amount of players we could register.
That's what I thought too.
I need to do more research and kind of figure this out. Big up CP, and maybe you've heard this a while.
Also,
I was talking.
Marshall, I have a counterpoint to your counterpoint.
Okay, but just 1 second. So that being said, just putting that out there, and I need to do more research on it, and we'll discuss it when I have more research on it thoroughly. But it's registration spots and all that stuff. So there's that. What about it? Let's just say we do end up finding a permanent deal for Bayern, which, to be fair, that's the other reason why I don't feel so bad about this, because Bayern have been fucking around with us the whole entire window. We've told them multiple times we want Jackson on a permanent gone. We don't want a loan. We don't want a loan. They insisted. And now that we're finally getting to this final break point of the window where we're like, okay, you know what? Let's just use our international spot for Jackson, the only one we have left. Now that this happened, okay, we're kind of digging our heels again. We're kind of going back to where we were, square one, which is like permanent, because we need the money from Jackson to potentially buy a striker, right? You guys asked who. What about Omega?
We're not buying Omega until 2026, bro. He's actually.
We're not buying him until 2026.
Is there anything we like? Are we restricted from doing anything from him?
You would actually be hurting Strasbourg by taking Omega right now. You would be actively hurting your development squad.
Arsenal don't give a fuck about Strasbourg.
No. I do. But
no. But the thing is, the club do. Listen, Marshall may not, but the club does. Right?
I did.
And also, I was going to say, and as well, and this they do care about, you're hurting your investment. If you sign Omega now, Omega's about to have a season where he is the starting striker for a team that's going to be playing in the Conference League. He has the possibility, if he has a good season, another good season might add, or an even better one, you could sell him, or you could buy him to Chelsea for, let's say, like 25 and sell him for double that.
There's even the backup striker that's good as well. He's even facing good competition too.
Oh, what, Panicelli? They're starting in the two. But if you were to buy him now for 25 to have him as the third choice striker, you're actively hurting your investment because you won't be able to sell him for as much as you could if he has a year at Strasbourg and just plays there. Exactly. So that's stupid. That's why I say, by the way, you go and sign someone like a Taremi, a Vardy, or whatever, because There's no investment. They're there for a year, or it's a loan or whatever. They're a year. There's no sell on, so you don't have to invest in everything. Even Hugh a little bit different because you bought him for so much. You're not really hurting your investment there. By the way, the counterpoint I wanted to make to you, Marshall, because I completely hear that what you said is a fair point about the UEFA thing. My counterpoint: what's the point of spending 90 million on 2 left wings that are both in depth?
Wait. There's actually a better point that you need to do. There's even a better point right now. I've got a better point right now, Marshall. Let me hit
There you go.
this
That's
point.
the issue of this. Of like,
No, you don't.
sorry, but that's the issue of this. Where like, I hear all of this. Just don't spend 40 million on Garnacho, who you do not need.
My thing is though.
I wish we
needed a left winger, though.
Neto's there, and we've just signed Brennan Otte as the backup right winger on loan.
Realistically, we've also signed Gittins too. Whether we like him or not, he is also an option.
That's what I'm saying.
We'll talk about Brennan Otte tomorrow.
And also, Marshall, sorry, one other point, Ahmed, I apologise. Like we just, Ahmed said earlier, we've just put a bid in for Lopez. So why are you now bidding for more players you don't need?
For me, my question is, why are we spending money?
For me, we should have gone for Lopez or Xavi Simons before
Lopez,
even Garnacho.
guys, we're about to spend, or if Lopez agrees to come to us, we're about to spend north of around about 50 million. So that's probably around about 55 million we're about to spend on him, right? So, and that's in pounds, right? So for me, I'm like, do you actually need to sell Jackson? Or is there a thing of, you just want to sell Jackson? That's the difference. Because for me, if you're willing to keep Jackson right now and then bring in Firmino Lopez, that for me just signals you don't actually need to sell Jackson to make money.
There are also other options, right? Like Tariq George is going to get sold. He counts towards that.
George, how much have you sent to me for, Marshall?
Yeah, but Marshall, the whole point of the UEFA thing, as I understand it, is you have to show that the difference between the registration last season when you registered the team for the Conference League and the registration this season is a positive balance. We are about to
sell a certain amount, though. They're asking for like a certain amount, though.
No, but I think the report I saw is it has to be a positive balance. So the what's it called? The George thing. What is the amount? I know Real said 25. I thought I saw 32. But I don't know where I'm just confused. Maybe I'm just
that would be in euros, right? So it'll probably be around about.
Yeah, but let's be kind and let's say I did find it somewhere. It's 32 million. Like Ahmed said, we're going to be spending potentially double that on Firmino Lopez, so that's a negative. That's a negative.
And by the way,
you spent 40 million on Garnacho. That's a negative. You haven't. You need to add something. Let's do the 1 in 1 out. Sorry, you've bought Garnacho for 40 million. You've sold Nkunku for 35, I think, in terms of guaranteed. So that's a negative. So I'm struggling to see where the positive is here in terms of with these guys specifically. Obviously, we've sold a bunch more players, so we probably will end up in a positive, like with Jude Hall and etc. I'm just talking about these players in terms of these 1 in 1 out that we keep getting told we have to do.
Scott, I want to add a point quickly, and this is a point that I think we will forget. Really, Hall is not even a part of the A squad, if I'm not mistaken. Because remember, he's in the academy.
No, he wasn't. I think he was B squad.
He's an academy, so he didn't even count towards any UEFA money that you make. By the way,
wait, he's not.
No, he wouldn't, because he's a part of the A squad, right? He's a part of the A squad. He's not a part of the A squad. He's an under 21.
So does it have to be people? I thought it was just registration. Does it have to be people that register?
No, it has to be registration from like the main A squad. Because remember, Tariq was an academy player, so he's under 21. He's a B squad member. He does not count towards anything you're doing. So it's the guys that you initially registered that count.
So that doesn't even count. So you're in even. So you don't even have the 25 million or 32, whatever it is. So that you're in an even bigger negative from that. So I think mine and Ahmed's point here, Marshall, at least Ahmed, if I'm wrong, correct me, is your point makes complete sense.
I'll just put this in the screen while we're talking.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to look into it.
Your point does make sense. There are just a lot of holes with it in terms of their actions. Like, this would make sense if we couldn't afford to buy Garnacho until Jackson left, which is what we got told. That was bullshit. It wasn't true. We didn't need to sell Jackson, and we just needed to buy Garnacho because they spent over what they wanted to pay, by the way. We got told we're not going over 30. They bought him for 40 in a sell-on.
Mm-hmm.
So I said this on Lewis's channel the other day of like, the whole Garnacho thing, not needing to sell Jackson, tells me we're fine for registering players. The Firmino Lopez thing tells me we're fine for registering players. We're not going to get a ban, or we're not going to get any sort of punishment. Because if we were going to get the punishment,
On the screen, by the way, just so you can know who the players that we would have to sell are.
If we were going to get the punishment, we would have, like, our actions would be different. We wouldn't be buying Fermin Lopez for no reason. We wouldn't be buying Garnacho and Gittins both in the same window, both to sit on the bench.
Just quickly, guys, I just want to tell you these are the guys that when we were selling that we'd have to sell to make the so-called positive thing, right? So that's Bergstrom, Jorgensen, Sanchez, Tosin.
Bergstrom's already gone, by the way. Bergstrom's gone on a free.
Yep. Chalobah, Kukurea, Gusto, James, Amugu, we sold for a positive basically right now.
Yeah, it was 15, I think.
Yeah. Dewsbury Hall, I think, was just like it's basically net zero. Basically, we sold Dewsbury Hall for, right? Gui obviously is on loan. Madueke is the only one that you've obviously sold for a massive profit. And Nkunku essentially is a -2 million, if I'm not mistaken, something like that, basically. And Sancho, you sent him back, so there's not even so essentially you've already sold Madueke from the 18.
Wait, what is that?
You've already sold right now in terms of positively Madueke.
What, from the Conference League?
Like in terms of making profit?
Yeah, like
making
but we're still
in terms of making a massive.
I think he means in terms of like ending up with a positive balance. Even if, because the thing is, I don't know if when we talk about the positive balance thing, because I haven't read enough of the report to fully understand.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I don't know whether they're just talking profit or they're talking you end up with a positive balance by just getting rid of players. So, for example, the Nkunku thing or the Dewsbury Hall thing is actually probably the better one, where it's like, because you kind of sold him pretty much for what you bought him for, is that going to count on the positive balance? Or is it a case of, because you made that money in, that goes like, it's a case of how much money do you get in? Is that more than what your outgoings are, if that makes sense? Because if it's just a case of that, it's better, because obviously we did get the Dewsbury Hall money and the Nkunku money, but it's still nowhere near good enough if we're spending 40 on Garnacho, 60 or whatever it is on Fermin Lopez and stuff like that.
It's very confusing.
They have, like, I have seen what we made.
The thing for me, this is why, by the way,
300 plus million or something.
Yeah, this is why for me, Marshall, like
this season,
I am the fact we're going for some of these other guys and we're willing to keep Jackson. It feels like to me they're more than okay with whatever's going on in terms of that department, at least in my personal opinion, right? Because if they weren't okay with it, then I really feel like the Jackson deal, they would have still pushed through the Jackson deal no matter what, bro. In my personal opinion, they would have still accepted that loan and kept it pushing.
I mean, 15 million on that loan as well was pretty decent. Since
bro, that's the highest loan fee ever. Apparently.
Yeah,
like I thought that loan
was fantastic. Like 15 million loan, and what was it? Was it? I saw what's it called? I saw differing reports. Was it 60 or 80 mil?
It was 56 million. 56 million. It was 56
million. 56 million. 56 point something million pounds.
I think Fabrizio reported 80, and then I saw another report that said 60. So I was like, sorry, what?
Yeah, whatever it is, end of the day, you're about to basically make at least 70 million on Jackson. Either it'll be minimum 70 million.
If he has a good enough season,
he paid 30 million for Jackson, right? So 15 million.
Yeah, you're about to double your money on what you spent on.
Yeah. It's an interesting dilemma, but going back into the game, obviously, the lap being out, Jackson coming back. Well, we still don't know. It could potentially happen that we figure out a permanent deal for him. We have the funds, because it looks like we're going to recall him unless we somehow come to an agreement with Bayern on a permanent deal.
Not for 80 million.
You never know.
You know what I was actually thinking? This because obviously this game.
I think it would have been like.
We've been playing this 4-2-2-2-2, right? As we
part of it's because Palmer's not here, by the way.
No, I actually think what would happen. Palmer would have been in Esteval's place, in my personal opinion.
I was going to say, I completely forgot that Esteval came in for Palmer in the last game against West Ham anyway.
Palmer's going to play regardless.
Whether they would have all started in the same position in terms of it might have been a case of JOAO Pedro coming in off the left and Neto on the right, Palmer 10. That maybe, but yeah, it would have been Delap and Pedro starting the same game, together, I should say.
Yeah, that's why for me. That's why for me. I do wonder now. Obviously, you've lost a big guy. I think in terms of making that situation work, I think quite perfectly. How do we adjust now? What's the next game we have? Is it Brighton? The next game? Who's the next game? Brentford.
No, the next game is Brentford, I believe.
Yeah. So then I'm interested to see against Brentford, what do we do then? Like, how do we set up then? You know what I mean? What are we gonna have to start taking? What are we gonna have to change?
Esteban will probably be starting again. I think because like the lap's out, Esteban is probably starting.
I think it's a guarantee. I think it's a guarantee that Neto, Esteban, and Pedro start. The question is it Jackson alongside them and Pedro in the 10, or is it like a Palmer alongside them if he's fit and it's Joao Pedro back up front, or if it's someone else? Like, yeah, the question is where does Joao Pedro?
Now will be on the left.
Well, it depends. Oh no, actually no, he'll definitely be on the left.
Like,
and
if Palmer's back, like I can see Neto on the left, Palmer in the middle. And Esteban's been doing it.
I actually don't think. I think the managers realized that the middle shit is not working, bro. I don't think you're gonna put Palmer in the middle anymore because it's not.
This is why I wanted Xavi Simons. I so want him for this reason.
I completely agree with you. I said this earlier.
Or even
like I said, and I apologize, people, that I sound like a broken record and keep going back to it. But it's planning again. So we've just signed a guy on loan for third choice winger on the right.
Yeah, that's because you can tell now the managers realized it, by the way, because you saw it at Club World Cup. You saw it against Crystal Palace when he
even the Conference League he's come on the right again.
Like you've seen the Conference League, it's not worked. You're now seeing that the club is targeting Xavi Simons, who would have been a star for us, whether we like to admit or not, in that 10, right? You're now seeing also now for me Lopez being heavily linked to you, that the manager's trying to push as well. For me, it's clear that the club have realized you need a starting 10 because Palmer, that role ain't for you, buddy.
There is one good thing that came out of him playing middle. He does create more chances, but the downside is he's more slower with his decision making or timing or reactions. Like he can get caught out a lot more in that 10 role. But
no, that's
on the right side, he feels more free.
That by the way, he's literally in the Chelsea hotel, bro. It's the one.
Who's in the Chelsea hotel?
They already have.
Ahmed, I think the thing is though, just to go back to what I think the what's it called? I think we've got a starting 10 though in Joao Pedro. I think the difference is now if what you said is true, which I think I can definitely see it, we now need to pivot to a striker though, like another option up front, I should say, or just keep Jackson. Like it's get another striker or keep Jackson, but you've left it till the second to last day of the window.
I say just keep Jackson at this point.
Same.
It just makes the
most sense. Depends how he feels this now as well.
But that's the thing. Like Jackson, and I really hope he does this. And I think he's gonna throw a tantrum for a bit, but then he'll calm down. I think with Jackson, it's like, listen, dude. At the end of the day, you were given multiple chances at this club, and we always said we were willing to listen to offers for Jackson. We didn't necessarily force him out of the club, but I think at the point where he said he agreed to leave, that's when, okay, well, fine. If you agree to leave, you're going to find another club, then we're going to put you on the side like in Nkunku. So it's like no hard feelings, really, in my opinion. Yeah, it's unfortunate the way it happened. Shit happens, but come back to the club. I think Maresca does rate you. It's not like the coach doesn't rate you. Like, at no point did I hear Maresca say like, oh, we don't, or imply that he doesn't need Jackson or Jackson's surplus to requirements, like stuff like that. You know, we've seen how he reacted towards Sterling, towards Chilwell. He's not had the same reaction. He's always valued Jackson and said he's an important player and a good player. So like, you already have good relationships with your teammates. You have good relationships with Maresca. It's not like you're coming into a harsh environment where the fans probably going to think differently. That's the only thing that I would maybe, because of the fans, you might not want to come back, right? Which fans can hold that now. I think it just fits. He fits the system. He already knows the system. He knows what's expected of him, and this is a chance for him to compete like he should have been competing from the get-go, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, what were you going to say?
I agree. I think that. What was it actually? I agree with the thing I was going to say is I do think that Enzo Maresca will be able to do a good job of like mending the relationship to an extent, like bringing him back on and getting him back to like wanting to play for the team and everything. I think that what's it called? That Maresca can do that really well. I actually don't have an issue with that because like we saw what he did with Nkunku in the Club World Cup, so I think that he can still do that. But yeah, like I think it's just a bad optic for the club, and it's the second time this has happened with the whole Chalobah thing.
Bayern can hold that. We've been trying to get him to be sold, and they've been fucking around with us on the loan. So at the end of the day, I don't.
Oh no, Marshall. This, I agree with you, but unfortunately, this club with what they've done.
News. A little bit of breaking.
It better be Chelsea related. Otherwise, you're gonna derail. Okay.
Jackson is insisting on his position to play for Bayern and is staying in Munich tonight. So he is like.
I kind of makes sense.
This is according to Fabrizio. This is according to Fabrizio.
Well, the thing is,
but that makes sense to me because he literally flew over there. Why would you fly straight away back?
For one, that, and two, might as well stay there because there could potentially be a solution that both clubs can agree to, and he doesn't need to. Listen, man, my man doesn't want to use up all his air miles, man. You know, I'm just saying, like, just allow it. Like, maybe they come to an agreement.
Marshall, I'm gonna just put this out there. The last player that I know that did something like this left the club within days, like within a day or two.
Who?
Now, obviously, we don't have that luxury of.
Ziyech?
It was not Chelsea. It was not Chelsea. It's not Premier League. There was a player in MLS who did this with his club. Who there was a bid came in. One of the players on the Portland Timbers, basically, little backstory. One of the players on the Portland Timbers got a bid for him. He basically said, "I want to go." They said, "No, it's not high enough." He said, "Cool, I'm going to go back to Colombia then. I'm not playing." He like literally packed his bags, packed everything.
Did he have he had a contract with this club, so what happened there?
Within days. So I think I'll be honest, this probably ends up with him leaving. Which if he leaves, fine. Like ultimately, I was calm with him leaving anyway. But then you need to address the striker position.
Yeah, and I think Jackson's knows that he can't compete with the new gen David Villa. You know what I'm saying? Second striker. Left position. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Marshall? You know what I'm saying? Hold that. Anyways, no, but in actuality, like I think let him go to Bayern. Honest to God, I'd rather play a youth player in emergencies than play this man. I'm serious.
Come on now.
Yes, the reason why
that's silly.
Big up CJ.
What's going on, bro?
No. The reason why is, here's the thing. This man was on bad form already. This man's gonna have less motivation to give a shit already. His agency is bitching and complaining. He was bitching and complaining even beforehand, which is fine because we try to kick him out, which is fine. He's gonna hate us, which is even more so why he's gonna be pissed.
Exactly.
Right? He's gonna be pissed. He's gonna be beyond
the motivation thing,
and we know how petty Jackson. Let's not front. We know how petty this man is when he's played for us. We can act like he's not petty. We've seen him be petty towards opponents. That's why we loved him, because he had shithousery. So we know how petty this man is.
I mean, he shushed his own crowd a couple of times. I'm pretty sure.
No, he hasn't.
No, he
hasn't. I thought he did, didn't he?
No,
I swear he did.
Neto
has. I swear Jackson did too.
No.
And I'm not like holding it. I'm not
this
really
type
holding
of
it.
comment is exactly what I'm talking about, guys. Bro, we play a man down with him anyways. What are we doing, bro? Towards the end, yes.
But no, the thing is, with these type of comments and with the thing that CP said, if the argument here was like, I'd prefer to play with Hugh over Jackson, I'd hear that argument. My thing is like, to say you'd rather a youth player is dumb, because we saw it with Shim last season, and I said it earlier, physically, he is nowhere near ready to play at this level. Most of these guys aren't. Dewan Richards probably isn't able to play at this level. At least we've not seen him play. Asking him to come in and start at this level immediately is dumb.
No, I'm not asking him to start. He's going to be my super sub. Not super sub, but a sub.
So we're going to move JOAO Pedro out of him playing really well in the 10 and start him up front next game.
Can I say something about that?
I would play Esteval in the 10 and I would have Neto and Gittins.
I was going to say, like, this whole thing about, like, even his agent saying, yo, like, he doesn't want to come back. fam, you got a contract to like 2029. If I'm free. So you ain't really have a choice. Like if Bayern really wants you that bad, bro, they make this shit permanent. They'll make it.
That is
permanent.
also very true.
Loan with obligation. Like if you feel some type of way, you know, because I think one of his agents or somebody posted something on
his agent is moving like my uncle, man.
Like if it's not supposed to be hard. And I said, okay, he should show that to Bayern and let him know, yo, this ain't supposed to be hard. It's not supposed to be easy. So just pay them money so you don't make it comfortable. Like I don't get it.
They have the money.
But no, this is so. I'm sorry, but this happened with Osimhen. No one wanted Osimhen. We were going to go for a bid. He's like, I'm not going to Napoli. I'm not coming back to Napoli. I'd rather play in Galatasaray, bro. I don't care how much longer my contract is with you, Napoli. Thank you for the money. I'm not going to play for this club, and Conte hates me either way, so I'm not playing. So let me just go to Gala.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'd rather him not come back. To be fair.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's fine. Then we need someone else. Like, I don't really care either.
Bro, just sell Jackson. Like I've always meant. I think we spoke about this, and I said, yo, we need 3 strikers. But if you're gonna sell Jackson, go get me Wissa, bro. Like genuinely. Why would it be? Let me give you.
Okay. Delap comes back. Who's playing?
Let me land.
We have so many people on the left now.
Think about it. If you're playing 2 strikers with Pedro and Delap anyway, we still need an option on the bench.
Yes, we do.
Right. So if you sell Jackson and you bring in Wissa, and even if Delap comes back and you still running with Pedro and Delap, you still have Wissa on the bench. If you're running with Pedro and Wissa, you still have Delap on the bench. Like, and Wissa's older as well. So he's not really taking much from nobody's development. He's 28.
You know what, man? I can't lie to you.
No, but why would Wissa want to come here? Why would Wissa want to come to Chelsea to be third string?
He wants to leave Brentford.
He wants to.
No, why would he go to Newcastle and be first strings fighting with Baltamata or Gordon on the left?
It's not like Newcastle are actively trying to. They want to sign him, but they just spent 80 mil on what's his name?
Baltamata.
Yeah.
Oh, that German striker, yeah.
My thing for me actually is that if you want a guy that's a similar profile to that, if you want a guy that's a similar profile to okay, let's just ignore that one.
Sorry, I didn't mean that comment took me out of it.
The thing for me, I would actually make the argument if you want a guy that's similar to Delap, that fits the age profile and that works in the team. I know obviously like Newcastle had 16, I think had a 55 million bid rejected for him, but unironically, Strand Larsen would suit our team. He would suit that profile. No, he would suit the other. He would suit, man.
That's not feasible either. That's not feasible either. And I think this is. I think this is where people aren't understanding either to an extent of like, you can say, oh, let's get Wissa, let's get Strand Larsen. How much are these guys going to cost?
Yo, get Wissa on the loan. Get him on the loan.
They're not good. What?
Why would Brentford do a loan? Why
would Brentford do a loan?
The player doesn't want to be there.
He wants to leave. Like this is what I'm saying. The guy doesn't want to play for them.
Who's paying?
We would probably want to do.
What happens when the window closes? Is he just so okay? So the window closes. He doesn't move because no one's paid the money. What happens?
I mean, then he has to play either way. But
of course, he just comes back and plays for them, which is best case scenario for Brentford.
Absolutely. But look, this is just like optimistic look at it. If Jackson doesn't want to come back, we're not running it with 1 striker.
That's crazy, bro.
No, but CJ, I agree with you. My point is, like I said before you came on, I'd go and get someone who is going to be like go and like
that's an
go and spend a 20 mil on a player, right? Go and recall Kiyu. Go and get someone who you need to play for a couple months while Delap is recovering, because when he's fit, he's the starter. We're seeing if you're going to put JOAO Pedro in the 10, that is, which
and also we need to also realize
that, it's the same reason. Like E said here, Strand Larsen makes no sense because even profile-wise, if he fits, spending 60 mil on a third choice is stupid.
No, but he can compete.
Like it's stupid.
Well, he can compete with Delap. That's a bit. Think about this, yeah. The reason why I see. Hear me.
No, I'm not hearing you out.
Hear me out. 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute, Scott, man. Scott, give me a minute. Give me a minute, bro. Give me a minute, Scott. What I mean by this here, listen, I know the price is high. I get that. But I actually would argue he would probably be able to steal the first spot from a guy like a Delap and actually make that spot a competitive spot, in my personal opinion. based on his quality, his ability on the ball. He was able to get
Delap
better
showed more than
chances
him
as
at
well.
Ipswich. So no, hang on. There's
This is
two
not
arguments. Yes, it is. Delap showed more at Ipswich than he did at Wolves last season. That's fact. That's just fact. Like that's just facts.
I agree.
That's just factual. Delap showed more playing for a worse team in Ipswich than Trent Arnold did last season. Secondly, we literally had a topic of conversation, 20 minutes ago, Marshall, talking about we need to be in a positive balance, and you're here saying let's spend 60 mil on a third choice striker. Do you understand how stupid that
He's my
sounds?
FM goat. He's my FM goat, mate. So
No, I understand that. So you have an affinity to him. I understand. Take the affinity
Oh,
away.
no. I'm gonna be serious. I'm gonna be serious. Scott, you know my opinion. If we're gonna be real, you might as well just bring back Gui. I know people don't like me saying
Yeah, no, I agree. That's what I'm saying.
The best genuine option for the club right now is just to bring back Gui, bro.
100%.
100%. That's it, man. Yeah, actually, that's the only thing that's the only right move. You're not gonna get Wissa because the club's not gonna do that shit because they genuinely hate doing that sort of stuff, right? And they will, and that's against their own policy, right? I understand what Joey said, but it's only for Carabao Cup, Joey. It's not for FA Cup.
Yeah, and I need to play in the league.
Or you wait for Champions League as well.
Oh yeah,
but like I get the whole like Wissa situation, but I'm just thinking just from a market opportunity point of view. Like the guy wants to leave. Like maybe they might not even charge you the whole 60, bro. Like it's
why.
Try. They literally lost some Buemo. You're telling me a club that literally lost 20 goals is going to lose 19 goals and go lower pricing during the last days of the season. I mean, of the window. Why?
If you want it,
so they want to get relegated. So they want to get relegated and lose 100 million pounds.
Quality. That's all I want. It don't matter. Like I'm not worried about what Brentford want to do.
I'll be honest. They actually got good strike from Bomo.
You know what? I don't care what anyone. Okay,
do you know what baffles me? By the way,
want to do. If we're doing these wishes upon a star, I want Yamal. I don't care what Barcelona want to do. What do you mean? Brentford want to stay up in the league. They just lost 20 goals from Mbeumo, and you're going to make them lose 19 goals on the last day of the season for the window and replace them with who? And if they get relegated, they're going to lose 100 million pounds just for being down on the
Sterling and
from the EPL.
Like that.
Sorry, what?
I said give them Sterling and Disasi.
Oh yes, Raheem is going to
comparable.
Raheem the Dream. Yes, it is, man. Raheem the Dream is comparable.
Really want Wissa.
By the way, I just need to clarify something. So what we're saying is, despite the fact we spent 90 million on 2 backup left wingers, we're potentially looking at spending 60 million on another number 10. We then want to spend another 60 million on a third choice striker, without addressing the centre back issue.
Yeah.
Or goalkeeper issue.
Yeah, we don't need centre backs or goalkeepers.
Listen, whether you like it or not, ladies and gentlemen, whether you like it or not, with this whole centre back issue that keeps bringing up, the club believe that they have the solution in house.
Well, they can.
I understand that. My point when I say that is you're spending more money. More money that you do not need to spend for literally, like you're spending a large amount of money you do not need to spend.
That's so petty.
Like for no reason.
The way I see it,
for literally no reason.
While you guys were talking about Wissa and all this and that, I was looking at some strikers, and I'm not gonna lie to you. If Jackson does get sold on a permanent, I won't be surprised if this club go for a loan option for someone that we haven't even heard of. Like out of
Danny Welbeck, Brighton.
No, not Danny.
Yeah, I was thinking Brighton straight away. Is that unknown strikers there?
Like obviously,
What
this is a hypothetical. All right, don't take me serious. I don't think this is an actual option. But don't be surprised if out of left field, Yusa Moukoko comes back like as a loan or something.
He's just moved. He's just moved.
You know who I think it could be? You know who I'm gonna say it's gonna be? Jorginho Ruta. What?
That's what I'm saying, right?
No, Ahmed, I disagree. Ahmed, you know who it's going to be?
I was like, why have we not gone for Ruta yet?
No, Ahmed, do you know who it's going to be? No, do you know who it's going to be? Ahmed, along the same lines, but because we've been interested in him and he's not playing right. Remember that Silas, the Greek dude? He's not playing for Brighton right now.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The one we tried to like had a fight.
That ass, if it was him, I'd take him, bro. The kid's fucking cold.
No, Scott, you know who's gonna be? Lawrence Stroyt's gonna have a masterclass. We're going back to Monaco. Mbolo. Let's go, man. Let's go, man.
Mbolo's
Yeah,
no
no,
idiots.
They're actually trying to sell him Bolo.
I know, Joey. That's what I'm saying. Lord Stewart Mastercard.
Mbolo has
Let's
no
go, man.
ACLs, man. Come on, man. Let's not do this to ourselves. Bro. Let's not do this, bro.
I mean, Evan Ferguson. No,
I
did
can
Evan
give you
Ferguson
some.
get
I can
injured?
give you a list of. I can
Last
give you a
time,
list
like,
of strikers
yeah.
right now if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
Joey,
Ferguson-
this is kind of what I'm getting at because they definitely have a list of talents that they're keeping an eye on for potential moves in the future, and they could bite on one of them if they sell Jackson and they know they need a striker.
Yo,
That's what I'm
Jackson.
thinking.
Let's be real, boys. Let's be real. Unless Bayern fucking pays up, bro, this motherfucker.
They're not
coming back.
paying. They're not paying.
Nico Baxton, son. That's what you guys. Nico Baxton.
Nico Baxton.
That's what it is. Nico Baxton, son. Get your ass back here, son. Get your ass back to London, son.
It's
That's
not
what
going
it
to be
is.
Morgan Rogers. Stop.
I just wanted to say this right now.
Do you know what? Hold on. I've just
Staffy
thought of a
TV,
name.
Staffy TV, a special mention for Staffy TV. Staffy TV,
Hold
get
on.
alive, mate. Get alive, Staffy. How about that, mate? You know what I mean? They're telling me to shut up, mate.
No, don't talk about my Arab brother. Don't talk to my Arab brother like that.
And talk some New Jersey.
Don't talk to my Arab brother like that, Ahmed. Don't talk to my Arab brother like that.
Hold on, I've just thought of another name. I've just thought of another
Don't
name.
talk to my Arab brother like that.
I've thought of the
Don't
perfect
talk to
name.
my Arab brother like that.
There is someone out there, doesn't have a club currently. He's proper Chelsea. Patrick Bamford, anyone?
Peachy.
Oh, Eddie's gonna free. Eddie's gonna free.
Oh my God, yes.
And he had a great Premier League season, you know. He had a great season in the Premier League.
And he's so proper Chelsea. He's even playing. Let's go, man. He's so proper Chelsea, man. Let's freaking go, man. He's even
Get
gone.
Batshuayi back?
Oh, where's he
playing?
at?
Where's he
Is
playing
he still
now?
playing?
Staffy doesn't know
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
the co-host of the channel.
Where's he playing now?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe
But I was
Premier League
actually,
winning.
you know, I can actually give you a list of strikers that wouldn't cost us that much. I mean, they wouldn't be like young.
I did see someone say
This is why I
along
want
with an
David
option for
Jonathan for
Sorloth, you know.
free.
Santi Jimenez, Artem Dovbyk, Openda.
Get the fuck out of here, bro.
What
These
is
are
wrong
all
with
strikers that are available.
Hey, Marshall Sorloth.
You know,
As well. He ain't one of the
Sorloth is available.
Sorloth?
Mhm.
That's interesting.
Yes, go and get Sorloth.
I'm being serious. Sorloth,
That's
I went to the
interesting.
last season.
Yeah,
this
Sorloth's
big
not
event
actually.
this season,
And do you know what? Do you know what? Like genuinely on a loan, which they probably would do, because I don't know if he's signed for them. Sorloth
Oh,
on
he
loan
doesn't
is
start
not
for them,
even
yeah.
a dreadful. It's not even like a dreadful
Sorloth would
shout.
be a quality loan, bro. He'd be a quality loan. Great off the
Marna,
bench.
I'm gonna time you out. You really? What the hell, Alexander Isak? Yo,
Yeah, why not?
get over it,
I know
people.
you guys. Why
Get
is
over
everyone
it.
talking
You know what?
about-
I wish we used this whole Jackson thing to like Newcastle.
Santi Jimenez moved to Bournemouth? Did I miss something?
More money.
I was gonna say, did I miss something there?
I thought he was going Roma. I thought they were doing a swap deal for Dog Break to AC Milan.
They're trying to, but you know how swap deals are, bro.
Yeah, I know what it means. But like, I was actually gonna ask this question because like I know I've been seeing the stuff of like Morgan Rogers, like because what's his name is going there now, like loan with obligation.
Mhm.
Okay, it's going there, but
Paqueta.
like, yeah. So,
But catch
why
that
are
loan
people saying,
obligation.
yeah, why are people saying that? Like, it's not like as if he's gonna leave, right? If Paqueta goes there, correct?
Yeah, no, I
There-
don't understand that. Like, because he'll just take Tielemans' place, and Tielemans will probably move back or put on
What's-
the bench or whatever.
I think I can kind of make sense of it. It's just because they need to sell. They need to sell players. They've only sold one player this window, and they're in a really bad position PSR wise. So they're gonna. What is it, a loan or
I
is
thought
it a
they were
buy for
fine.
Paqueta?
It's a loan of obligation.
Well, no, I thought it's a loan with an obligation, but
They
but
sold their
apparently
ladies
Arsenal
team.
were fine.
Man.
I
They're
thought
not
that's
selling
what
the
Well,
ladies
isn't-
team.
Isn't
Only
the
part of
salary
it.
an issue? Like their
They only
salary
sold
cap
part of
being
their.
more than-
They only
yeah,
sold
go
part
ahead,
of their ladies team. Only
Oh.
part of it.
I was actually
And
Well,
gonna
yeah,
say
but-
Ahmed, I heard some
Well,
blasphemy come out of your mouth. I just got news that that there was some blasphemy coming out of your mouth.
what was
today.
the blasphemy? What was the blasphemy?
Oh, about my favorite basketball player. There's some blasphemy that came out of your mouth. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna
man.
speak to you
Absolutely.
privately about that.
By the way,
I'm gonna speak
you
to you
know what?
privately about
I
that.
stand on it, and I stand on that.
Yeah, I'll
business,
speak
and I
to you
stand on it
privately
too.
about that. Yeah, you stand
No,
on
no, no.
you
Varner,
stand on something
absolutely
you
not.
don't.
Stage.
You stand on something you've never watched in your entire life. Because I know you weren't watching.
I stand.
I know
he's a
you weren't
serial
watching
loser.
the basketball
He's a
back then.
serial loser. Just know.
I
He's a
know you
serial
weren't
loser.
watching basketball back then. All right,
He's a
we'll talk
serial
about that. I'm not
loser.
gonna take over I'm not gonna take over his stream. We'll talk about it.
He's
Don't
a
worry.
serial loser.
Okay.
I stand by it.
You can
I'm
turn
not
down
about
his
to take
camera
over
and
his
Yeah,
stream.
everything.
mum's
Don't
house,
worry.
man.
By the way, Marshall.
Don't
on the
worry,
Villa
bro.
thing-
Don't worry.
On the
Don't
Villa
worry.
thing, yeah.
You will.
Oh,
I'm gonna be your ghost now. And make sure you say every word correctly from this point forward. I will be your ghost.
I sneak.
Just wait.
Just
wait.
Yeah, Marshall. On
Go
the
ahead,
Villa
Scott.
thing,
Go
I
ahead.
thought-
Go ahead.
I thought the thing was they're fine because I thought we heard at the start of the window, like in July, they needed to sell, which is why we might be able to get Rodgers. But then something came out saying, like after July 1st, saying, "Oh, they don't need to sell. Like Rodgers doesn't need to leave
Yeah,
now because
exactly.
they don't
This is
need to
why-
sell." Like that.
Is
That's
the
why I thought that
situation?
was fine.
Yo,
But
Scott.
if it
real
isn't,
quick,
man,
what
listen.
are the names you would bring in if Jackson doesn't come back? I'm curious.
Are we talking realistic or are we talking pipe
Durant,
dreams?
Durant
Durant
was
just got.
like
Durant
realistic.
got Mourinho
ones.
sacked.
Okay.
Yeah,
Durant got
So-
Mourinho sacked.
Like genuinely saw.
Where's
on loan.
Timo at? Where's Timo at?
Is he good?
He was very good for Villarreal when he was
I'm gonna
there.
have a chat to
He's
you
been
outside.
decent for I haven't really watched.
He
him
was
for
good
Atletico,
for
to be honest.
Atletico.
He
was good for Atletico.
he sucked for Palace when he was there, but I think that was
Yeah,
just a
but-
mess of the team at the time.
Yeah, Villarreal and thingy he's done really well and in the Turkish league
And
too.
with him not playing, like the thing I'm trying to think of is like decent players that kind of fit what Ahmed was saying earlier in terms of profile that aren't going to cost you 60 million, like
Santi.
Trent
Exactly.
Larson.
Santi.
So if you could get him Santi Jimenez, if you like on a
Santi
loan,
would. The reason why I think Santi would be a good option is because I think Milan would take a loan. Like I think
Yeah.
Milan would take a loan with an option
That's what I'm
to
trying to
buy,
think
and it
of,
wouldn't
like,
be an
that's why I
it wouldn't be something that's obligatory for us to actually keep him around if he
That's-
doesn't play well.
that's why I said Sorloth as well, because if he's not starting, I
And
feel like
I
Athletic
also
probably would take a
think
loan
the
as
same
well.
way with Openda as well. Like Openda at the
Like,
same time.
You know what?
Like
I don't know what this. Sorry, I don't know
Are
what the
you
situation
confident?
actually is with Mitrovic, but if he is available, I take him on a loan as well.
yeah,
If he's
Mitrovic too. Mitrovic is available.
So like
They're trying
that's
to get
what I
rid of
try
him.
and go for is those type of guys. Like obviously my first choice would just be to recall you, but I understand if we can't do that, cool. But yeah, if I had to go and get someone, then
Nicolas Jackson, son. Get your ass
Sorry.
back, son.
Nico
Get
Jackson
your
is
ass
crazy.
back, son. We not playing. Get your
If you
ass
had to
back.
play, I don't know, like Bayern Munich without JOAO Pedro, you'd be comfortable with Sorloth leading the line.
oh no, I played
100%.
both of them. I'm
100%.
playing both of them.
Not even a question. Sorloth would dominate those two
Yeah, he
center
would.
backs.
I'd have to see. I'd
He
have to
would
see more of
fucking
him, but he did not
dominate
look
those
convincing in
guys.
Club World Cup. I'll be so
Yeah, but
honest.
I'd
He would
play both of them though,
dominate
because
those
the
two
thing that, and I think I've discussed this on other. I think Joe's on there. Like, if the plan going forward is this JOAO Pedro in the 10, then if
Then
our
you have
best
to get a
team,
striker.
yeah, if our best team has JOAO Pedro in the 10, which on form, obviously it's 3 games, it currently does have JOAO Pedro in the 10,
Yeah.
then you're going to need another striker anyway.
But
Like,
even
you need-
without him in the 10, I always felt we needed a third option. Just
Oh, I
because-
agree, but I just didn't want to spend like 60 mil on
I
a third
disagree.
option because that makes
I
no
disagree.
sense.
I disagree.
why do you disagree? Not because now
Because I don't necessarily I didn't necessarily think that we needed him as a in any other position. I
Oh, you
thought
mean
he was
Joao
going to be
Pedro?
specifically striker. We didn't need a third striker, in my opinion.
Because for him,
But since he's
the coach
playing
is
so much
always-
10, and we don't have a backup 10, and we sold our backup 10, and like I'm not playing Esteban in 10 at this age. I'm just not. I don't care what you can tell. Nobody can tell me that's a good idea. No one, absolutely no one can tell me that's a good idea, and actually give me a valid explanation on why it's an even comparable idea to be able to think about. No way I'm putting him in the 10. Keep him out in the wing. Let him get less pressure from over in those areas, because then you can't get man marked in those areas. Like I'm not absolutely. If he's gonna play 10, cool. That means we need another striker. If he's not gonna play 10, he's gonna play mostly striker. Then we need another 10. That's how I've always felt. It's that simple. But he's not. You're not like the overload to me is just not necessary. But the way that he plays 10 for us, like yeah, keep him at the 10.
Yeah, I mean,
That's really.
his role, but this is the thing, right? Like, and we know how Maresca is. His role is going to vary depending on the game. And there are going to be some games where we might ask of him to play the left wing, which when he came into the team, I initially thought he was going to be a left wing option.
I'll be honest. There should be no, and I'm not saying this because he can't play that. There should be no game going forward where you need JOAO Pedro to play left wing.
No, I'm just saying, like,
100%, Scott.
There is-
100%.
I
Yeah,
agree,
Marshall,
considering
be
you
honest.
got 2 left wingers. Yeah.
Yes.
You've got 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, are you counting Tariq George?
Neto.
No, Neto's the starter. Neto's the starter, and then what's his face? It's Garnacho.
Garnacho's gonna be
There is-
yeah.
There is no point during the season that I expect JOAO Pedro to play on either wing. We have 5 wingers at the squad.
Yeah, JOAO Pedro's gonna be a front man. He's gonna be 10 or 10 OSD.
I don't disagree, but I don't also. Part of me also thinks Maresca rather have Neto at right wing than at left.
No,
just because
I think
no,
you
I
would.
say that
disagree
just because
based
of
on what
look
we're
at
seeing.
look at
I disagree with
Madueke.
that. I
Look at
disagree with that.
Madueke. He was willing to compromise Madueke and putting him on the
Different
left
player,
and keep him on
different
the right.
conversation. Different player, different conversation. In my
Yeah.
like
I
you-
think the
you
way you
can't-
need to look at it, the way you need to
look at
Marshall is that
look at the game. Look at the Club World Cup final. The last
Mhm.
in the game against West Ham when we went after we drew against Palace. He wasn't going to play Neto at right wing.
Mm.
It was Palmer. It was going to either be Palmer or it was going to be Esteban.
I don't,
That's what it was.
Yeah, and I think the other thing you
Yep.
need to realize as well is that at least with like Maresca, it does take him a while. Like, but eventually he will realize if a player just is not working in that position. Right, and Neto,
Hey Scott,
right,
Scott,
whether
you have
rightly or
your
wrongly,
computer? Are you
it
in
is-
front of your
he
computer?
doesn't play.
Yeah,
He doesn't
what's up?
work. He doesn't work rightly or wrong on that right wing. So
I'm pretty sure Atletico Madrid played Bayern last year in the Champions League. Can you check
yes,
that?
they did. Yes, they did.
Oh, we'll have a
I
look.
think it's in the group stages though. It was in the group stages.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. I'm just curious about the Sorloth conversation. Because he brought up Sorloth.
Sorloth has been a great
play
guy
against-
off the bench for
Could
Atletico. He's been a
Sorloth
super
play
sub.
against? Yeah, could Sorloth play against Bayern Munich?
I'll see who they.
He
I'll
played
see
against Bayern Munich
what-
last year. That's why I'm just curious.
Yeah.
They used to have Alvarez always be the star, and then Sorloth would just come on.
Where's it?
Well, yeah,
Okay.
no, but they would
That's
also
true.
play them together too.
They didn't play them last year.
Oh,
Yeah, the last time they played is in 2020. When I looked,
Yeah.
October.
But yeah, I thought they played each
Who
other.
did
last
Atletico Madrid play? Let me see if I can find like comparable.
maybe by Leverkusen. I know that game.
Also, Marshall, I disagree. I agree with what Joey and everyone else is saying because defensively too, he wants him on the left because when Cucurella does those runs in the midfield and those box crashing runs, you see how good Neto is defensively, how he covers for him
Yeah.
on the counter attack. So that's why it's
How he
needed
covers
even more
for
so
him.
on the left.
But
Because
isn't
on the
it
right,
also?
your right
I-
back, either Reece James or Gusto's tucking in a bit more. not
But
making overlapping
thank
in.
you. You just said it right there, Reece James. I feel like most times when we see Reece James play, very likely you're gonna have Neto on that right because he does the hard yards for Reece so that he doesn't have to, destroy himself doing it. So
No.
I could see that too.
Because Reece is basically like a right center back / like right.
But he's
almost like
played
a
in that
DM
right
at
back
times, so
position a few
he's
times
not
too.
bombing up as much as
Like the
Cucurella.
inverting.
Cucurella's bombing up. Cucurella's doing shuttle runs, and that exposes him defensively, and that's why Neto
Mhm.
covers for him.
I know,
Right?
but
Like we saw that in Club World Cup too, like the final. You saw Neto
yes,
man marking Hakimi in a sense.
I don't know. This is where obviously Maresca gets paid the big bucks, and
I
I
was
won't be
thinking
surprised if
Marshall.
he,
Yeah, for sure.
surprises
I think-
us.
I think today was the perfect example in terms of if you just want in a microcosm of like what you said in terms of
Mhm.
he had the opportunity to play Neto on the left, right, play Gittins on the left,
Mhm.
and then you just have to find someone else for the 10. Like maybe that was an issue, but play JOAO Pedro up front, and he kept it the same. Just put Tyreek George up front. Like and the only time Neto went to right wing was after 70 minutes when Gittins came on, just because Gittins cannot play on the right, or he probably can, but he's way better on the left. So I think the thing with Neto is I think when everyone's fit, currently our best team is Neto on the left and Palmer on the right and JOAO Pedro in the number 10. So, like, unfortunately, because of the planning that's been done, you're going to have 3 wingers on one side anyway. You either have 3 right wingers, or 3 left wingers.
Mhm.
It's just if you have 3 right wingers, one of Gittins or Garnacho has to start. And if you have 3 left wingers, then it means you get your better players out there, but you spent 90 million on backups.
Yeah, I mean,
Got to bite a bullet somewhere.
Time's gonna tell with all this stuff. I definitely want to see how this plays out because
I want to actually ask you guys a
they're seeing something where I'm not. Yeah.
Because, like, listen, I don't think maybe something like we start doing the stupid deadline day nonsense, which I'm praying does not happen on Monday.
I could see us buying Furman on deadline day if he's up.
Please not, please no. But like, I feel like tomorrow's gonna be quite crazy in my personal opinion. Whether it be in terms of like whatever's gonna happen in terms of incomings or outgoings. So I was gonna actually ask you guys, like, what do you think is gonna happen at the end of the window? Do we bring in a striker? Do we bring in Fermin Lopez? That's actually the two questions I'm probably asking.
Yeah, I'll start it off. I think Jackson comes back, and I don't think Fermin Lopez actually happens. I think he's dedicated to Barca. I don't think we swayed him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the whole Lopez situation. I'm not gonna front. Like the whole Lopez situation, like to me, like I don't think that we would be bidding for him if we didn't have the indication that it was that's like something that's gonna happen. Like that there's at least a chance that it could happen, and that Fermin would want to go. I think it's a camp thing. Like the camp wants him to leave, but the player might not be ready to leave. I think, but you can't say that he wanted to stay at Barcelona when he could probably make double at Chelsea.
He's on
Because he's only on 60K a week, so like you can technically double his wages, and he would be right in the ballpark with everybody else.
Hold on.
Yeah, so I think Jackson leaves. Personally, I think we get a new striker. I have literally no idea who that would be. And then the Fermin Lopez thing.
Virginia Rotten and not playing his last game. Just want to put that out there. By the way.
I think Lopez. I think if
the
only thing that's going to stop us getting Lopez, is whether he actually wants to leave, because I think they'll pay the money for him.
100%.
I just wanted to say this quickly. Marsh would never ever mention Sammy Amaguya, his name at this football club. You know why? Because we broke that guy's heart, bro. You know what I mean? That's it, man. I don't know what
You could just take this.
Yeah, Daniel Garcia. Let's go.
CJ, what do you think is gonna happen,
bro? I don't know. I think Jackson comes back. We'll probably get Furman as well. But I'd rather Jackson not come back. I'm not gonna lie.
That's gonna be toxic. I can't lie to you. Jackson generally is gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be really toxic.
It's gonna be bad, bro.
No, to be fair, I don't think it'll be.
I don't know why you guys can't think that he can't be a professional. Like what?
He may not be toxic, but I feel like
the fans hate him, bro.
No, I don't think. The fans won't be.
I don't think the fans hate him either, bro. I think we're all making up this in our heads.
My TL must be fucked up then, because I see
so literally
in Jackson hate
come back. Like if a player said,
I don't know. But Marshall, when that whole thing came out, like I didn't see that. Like I saw Jackson's coming back. Like they're happy because of the situation.
Yeah.
Also, Marshall, I think football fans are fickle, right? I think if he comes back and scores, they'll forget all about it. If he comes back and keeps missing chances, then people get pissed. It's because he's missing chances. Like, I don't think what's happening with the whole Bayern thing, it has any, like, people feel the way they feel about Jackson, and it will be toxic because they just don't want Jackson or they don't rate him.
You know what's annoying, Scott? Like, us on the panel can understand that sometimes, for example, Delap, he's given this role that doesn't necessarily put him in the greatest position to be scoring goals or getting assists, right? Because he has to do the dirty work, the Giroud work, right? But as soon as, and I hated this because, like, West Ham, Delap, people were rinsing Delap, and it's like, why? Because he didn't get GNA. He had a good game. He played a role in that game, and that might be a managerial instruction. The moment Jackson comes in and does that type of role where he's just, okay, I'm linking up, I'm setting up, I'm pulling away defenders, opening gaps and all this and that, and the fans don't see a goal or an assist. And mind you, even on the assist tally, that might not be enough because he was getting some assists in Club World Cup in his previous few games. But if he doesn't get a goal, I just immediately see boos and worthless striker, all this and that.
Yeah, but if we're
Unfortunately,
winning
it's just
games,
how simple.
but
I-
it's only if he's missing goals and we're losing.
Yeah,
games
that's what I was
or we're
gonna say.
drawing games. Like that's the only
He
reason
has
it'll
no
happen.
chemistry with her. He has
I
plenty of chemistry.
think the reason
I
why
don't know if he has chemistry with JOAO PEDRO, man. That's my only take I'd probably give. Like, I feel like
Well,
I
we
think-
don't know until
I
he played him.
Marshall, I think the thing with the Jackson things, I think the reason why people would get pissed in terms of even if he had good games was because of the missed chances.
Mhm.
That's why people got pissed. Like I think if the lap misses a bunch of chances and has games like he did against West Ham, people will get pissed because he misses chances.
Yeah, and also
Like,
Jackson missed chances.
He's
in
just 3 games, Marshall. He's just 3 games in. So there's
Mhm.
more like because when Jackson first came in, there was a bunch like obviously you had the people that were like on him instantly, right? But most people were willing to give him enough rope for him to hang himself with, like because it's an expression. Calm down. But they were willing to give him that leeway because he was a new player just come in. Not willing to give him that leeway now because we're 2 years in and he missed a bunch of chances and had a very bad season.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what's gonna happen. We're gonna see what's gonna happen with this whole saga. Obviously, we'll be on top of it. I'm gonna work on a show for tomorrow. Obviously, we're gonna be talking about this again and a few other things that are gonna happen. Tomorrow's gonna be mayhem. I already expect to make like 3 thumbnails, like in the span of like 3 hours. Because there's going to be all types of bombas and bullshit changing here and there. Oh, Jackson purchased by fucking Bayern Munich. Oh, Chelsea put in a fucking bid for Evan Ferguson or some bullshit. Like, oh my god.
I know he's obviously he's moved to Juve, might still happen, but like you're a favorite player. Your favorite player, Marshall.
Kolo Muani. The guy I suggested to bring in a loan when you guys were so staunchly against it.
I mean, if you're actually talking about a lone player, like it's not a bad option if you're really thinking about it.
Thank you, Joey. I wish you were here last January to defend my take on this.
I mean, that's not a good option. Not in last January as a fucking. It's a good option now because we're in the situation that we're in. That's it.
I'm saying.
Oh man.
Can you imagine, Marshall, Cordovani and if you had Jackson or Cordovani in this team, I think this is a chance. I don't know if I can live for that one, man. I might actually crash out. I can't, man.
No, that'd be rough.
That's a rough watch, man. That's a rough watch.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Any final comments or anything in regards to the game?
You know any Peruvians that we can add to the squad? You know any Peruvians that?
All right, no, but serious though. Any comments? Final thoughts on the game?
Listen, I wouldn't do it. Hopefully, we don't do this against Brentford. That's all I'm gonna say.
Bro, Peru can't even find strikers. The fuck are you talking about, bro?
I know. I wouldn't be a dickhead, Marshall. Sorry.
All right. Well, let's close it out because we're already 2.5 hours in. And yeah, I think we spoke about everything in length. A good victory. You got to win this way sometimes. And obviously, we lost the lap. Time will tell. Let's see what happens with that one. We have 48 hours to really figure that one out. But yeah, we'll be back again tomorrow for the Casually Chelsea show. So tune into that. Obviously, a lot of transfer madness that we're going to be discussing, and a lot of shit that's going to be going down. This is, I feel like I say this every transfer window, but I really mean it. I think this window is the craziest one I've ever had to cover. It's just been.
Saying we're gonna get Ether Kiwigo, man. That's what I'm hearing from the streets today, man.
Bro, I'm nervous. I'm gonna hear Evan Ferguson. Here we go. Like
Evan Ferguson's been signed by Roma, bro. He's been signed.
Yeah, he's already at Roma.
I'm still.
I'm telling you right now, Marshall.
Lock your doors.
I'm just gonna tell you, Jorginho Ruta. Just remember that name.
No, Simas.
Remember Leao. Remember you said Leao. I knew the streets don't forget. Leao guaranteed this window.
I don't recall. I don't recall.
Okay, convenient. But yeah, people, smash up the like button. We really appreciate you tuning in. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Be sure to hit the bell notification so you're notified whenever we do go live. Also, check out the links in the description for more content and all that fun stuff. We're gonna raid out to I think we're raiding out to Sarcasm City. I think he's the only one on right now. So yeah, copy and paste the raid message. Let him know where you're coming from. As we do at the end of every show, we're gonna give shout outs to the proper, casual, and higher tier members. 4 different tiers of memberships starting at 99p. So definitely check that out, as it does help out the channel tremendously. And those shout outs are gonna go to Not Yandu, Morning Zombie, Mo Beta, JB's, Gabriel Mejia, Lanray Sadiq, A Soliman, EE Dark, and Adrian. Big up to you guys for the support as always, and big up to every single one of you. We'll catch you again tomorrow for the Casually Chelsea show. As always, have a wonderful night, guys. Stay casual and peace.